The Wolves acquiring LaMelo Ball from the Hornets. We scored this Timberwolves trade for LaMelo Ball 10-7 in favor of Minnesota. Now on an iPad, they're the clear winner and overwhelming dominance in the trade. It's a no-brainer. They got the better player. Now Minnesota traded
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
It was a pretty, I would say, boring NBA draft. Didn't have a whole lot of action to it. But there was one thing that just got me heated because it ruined a player's, I would say, NBA draft night, right? Nate Ament, the Tennessee forward who got drafted by Milwaukee with the 13th pick.
If you say so.
It was technically Miami's pick, right? That was the pick that was involved, one of the picks that was involved in the trade. And yet, Nate Ament had to go up there in a Heat hat and say, congratulations, you got drafted to the Miami Heat. Everybody knows you're going to be a Milwaukee Buck, unless there's like a 0.5% chance that something falls through in this trade. Why not go ahead and let him wear the right hat and make his draft night something that he remembers for the rest of his life, instead of being, I had to wear the stupid hat because of NBA rules. Draft night meant nothing to me.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gatz.
Yes.
And he Gatz Company.
I love that.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
with whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes I like to talk.
It's Stu Gatz and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
Belgium won its group at the World Cup with a 5-0 victory late Friday against New Zealand, which is eliminated. Egypt managed just a 1-1 tie against Iran. Cape Verde advanced with a third straight tie, 0-0 against Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde now the smallest nation ever to advance. Spain won its group 1-0 over Uruguay, which is out. Senegal still alive after a 5-0 win over Iraq. France 3-0 after beating Norway 4-1. The group stage ends on Saturday. Scotty Scheffler shot a second-round 60 and leads in Connecticut by 2 strokes. To baseball, the White Sox were 22-1 winners over Kansas City. Milwaukee won its 5th straight, 6-2 over the Cubs. The win to Jacob Mizorowski, who had a pitch clocked at 105.5 miles an hour. The Twins blew a 7-0 lead, still beat Colorado in 10 innings, 9-8. Padres 7-1 over the Dodgers. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That is right. Another edition of FnA on FSR. Thank you for joining us as you do every single week. Kevin Figures, that is me. At KFig1 is where you can find me on X. You can find Adam at Follow Adam A. We are at FnA Show on X. You can also watch us on YouTube as well.
Streaming on the YouTube side, just search FnA Show. You'll see our cool logo. One of them, I think I went with the blue or the yellow or the orange or the green or the red. I don't know. We got all the colors.
Tripping over here?
Where's our Skittle sponsor, man? All the colors of the rainbow.
Wow.
We can do it if Marshawn Lynch can.
Representing the World Cup, every single color. I like it.
That's right. Speaking of, we'll get into that in the first segment. Coming up later this hour, though, lots of NBA trade talk going on.
Good choice.
And by good choice, I mean there's some bad choices that have been made by teams. We'll talk about in the next segment.
Very questionable, very desperate moves by some would say.
Desperation is a stinky cologne.
Yes, it is. So we'll talk about that. We have speaking of the NBA, our friend Law Murray of The Athletic going to join us at the top of the next hour. Going to talk about the NBA offseason and all the moves that have been made and pending moves to be made.
There's a lot still happening.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, a lot going on.
Big move happened just a few hours ago. Isaiah Hartenstein inking a 3-year extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's another big man off the market for certain big man thirsty teams out there.
Sorry, Lakers. F off.
Yeah.
You're not getting them. Mike looked at me like, what? Are you kidding me? He was on my list at the very top. It was a long shot to begin with.
It wasn't going to happen.
3 years, $75 million. That's good business for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Probably means Lou Dort's going to become available if you'd like him. Means he can't injure your players then. Or I guess he could at practice and stuff. But
you know what?
if he plays for you.
I'd sign off on that, actually. He's a guy. He plays for me. I'll take it. You can clothesline a couple of dudes.
He's a bit of a he's Terry Tate office linebacker at times out there.
Kick somebody in the chest every now and then if they have it coming. That works for me.
After Law Murray in the second hour joins us, we'll talk about the Lakers if Austin Reeves is crippling them with that new contract he got. And then a follow-up to a story we've been keeping you abreast of with Brandon Sorsby, who now has been rejected.
You're out. He's running out of potential employers.
Yeah, the NFL doesn't want him. I'm telling you, he's going to be on Barstool very soon hosting a betting show. I guarantee it.
That's not going to happen.
Now, Charles, I guarantee it. I'm telling you that's happening soon here, but we'll talk about it.
And in the final hour of the show, an all-time great is coming out of retirement. But is that the right move to make? We'll talk about that coming up in the final hour of the show.
First off, though, World Cup action.
Let's go. It's go time.
Let's roll. First off.
Can't believe we lost to a team that's named Turkey and not even Turkey.
Were you as upset and devastated as some with the United States loss in extra time the other night in what was essentially a meaningless game?
Here's the thing.
Really,
Kevin.
for both teams, if we're to be honest?
It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to have half the team get nutmegged.
These nuts.
Leading to that goal, including the good Christian Pulisic, who came back in and
looked great.
They had something like at least, I would say, no less than 500 shots on goal. Team USA.
Sure, they had fewer than 500.
Now, I'm pretty sure
they had a healthy amount.
They got more dynamic out there. They were on the attack. Christian Pulisic made a huge difference, but then kind of surprised everybody when they gave up that goal at the end. It just felt a little bit deflating, but it's not like they backed their way into winning the group. It was already won. It's fine.
Mauricio Pochettino's pissed. Like he said, I don't know if you saw his post-match press conference, and people are asking him about them losing momentum and how he's feeling about the loss. And he's like, we just won the freaking group. Like, we're playing a meaningless game. 5 of our starters didn't even play because they had yellow cards. And another one of our starters, Christian Pulisic, was out. We were trying to bring him back in just to kind of get himself back warmed up in the mix in the second half. Like, the game was meaningless. What do you mean, do we lose momentum? What momentum? We didn't even have our best players out there.
Yeah, when are they playing again? July 3rd?
They play Wednesday.
Are you able to hold on to momentum for that long? In baseball, we say momentum is as good as your next starter. Are they really going to be able to hold on to it for a week, even if they had won that game with 9 different starters out there?
Yeah, I mean, like the equation is probably, or the scenario to equate it to is probably like a team in the NFL wins this division and there's a game left and you want to go into the postseason with good momentum. Maybe you play a few starters, but you sit most of your guys. And you lose the game on a game-winning field goal or a game-losing field goal or something. It's like, we would have liked to have won, but nobody got hurt, and on we move to the postseason. So, no, I'm not upset about losing momentum and losing a game that didn't mean anything. Who gives a rip? Why do I care?
You sound like Mauricio.
I mean, yeah, he's right. He's like, he didn't say this explicitly, but it's like, with all due respect, this is the United freaking States. Do you know what we are and what we have been when it comes to international soccer? For us to win our group, and pretty much in dominating fashion the way that we've done it, give us some freaking credit.
I mean, the only reason that I would be a little bit concerned is if I was actually close to Mauricio. And since he looks so much like Russell Crowe, maybe he takes your phone and throws it across the room or something like that while he's throwing that tantrum.
It's possible.
I don't know. Russell Crowe doesn't play the bad guy very often, except in real life. That's all I'm saying. Look, he looks exactly like him. Especially in American Gangster.
Is Russell Crowe the bad guy in the in Les Mis?
That might
play a bad guy in that movie.
I don't watch plays and stuff.
That's
culture.
That's not manly enough for you. I'm sorry.
No, you watch Cats too with Taylor Swift.
No, that creeps me out. Actually, the Cats the Cats thing doesn't.
Oh, you got something against Cats? How dare you, Kevin? I got 2 of them.
I have nothing against. Actually, I do. I'm not a big fan of Cats. If I'm to be completely honest with you, actual Cats and then the actual play Cats, seeing the people in the weird outfits kind of freaks me out.
Well,
not my thing.
Team USA didn't play like, cats out
I
there.
feel like I know what you're alluding to.
They still competed. They still had opportunities to win that match, and they still are going to be feeling good about themselves moving forward, even with all the nutmeggings that led to that final goal.
One thing I will say, and this has been a trend, they've gotten off to fast starts, and they've kind of let everybody back in. And this has been a trend through all of their group games. You get out to a 1-0 or 2-0 lead, or 2-0, lead. And then the other teams kind of start chipping away. Even Australia that didn't score, they put pressure on the net pretty much the entirety of the second half, and they were able to hold them out. Yeah, Australia, exactly. Paraguay,
You're saying that basically it's Godfather 3 for everybody taking on Team USA?
Yeah.
Just when I thought I was out, Team USA is letting us back in.
So I think that will be a fear. That has been a trend in this tournament. Hot starts, kind of let go on the rope a little bit in the second half, making things a little more tenuous than they would need to be.
But getting a goal scored on you in the 98th minute doesn't mean you have to be like Rob Schneider and say, we suck again. Oh, no, we suck again. It's nothing like that. They have played good ball, good soccer, good football. Yeah. Whatever it is, they have competed and played at a high level no matter who is out there, considering they beat Australia without Christian Pulisic.
Right. So,
and he looked good. The biggest takeaway
is the fact
he was moving well.
Extremely well.
Yeah. This looked like a guy who got all the time off he needed to find that explosiveness they're going to need a week after that game to beat Bosnia.
Yeah. And so they come into this game against Bosnia coming up on Wednesday night, and the United States are favorites, comfortable favorites. Minus 250 is what I saw from our friends at BetMGM.
All right.
So here's the thing. How disappointed would you be if they find a way to lose to Bosnia?
Pop quiz, hot
How
shot.
much goodwill does this Team USA team lose if they happen to get knocked out in the round of 32? No longer the round of 16 to begin the knockout stage, now that you have the expanded field. The round of 32.
It probably sounds something like this in Burbank.
That's a 50 DKP minus.
That would probably be me.
You're pretty pissed. Yeah.
Look, everybody has crowned them too early, far too early, because they're not going to be defined by winning the group. That was expected. Now, they won it early,
right?
But the group was even worse than we expected.
Yeah. People thought that it would be a neck and neck between them and Turkey A, and one of them would win the group and the other would finish second. And Turkey A, oddly enough, flipped completely at the back and didn't even qualify.
We set the expectations immediately saying, get to the quarterfinals again, just like in 2002. Now, it will be more difficult to do that now because there's an extra round. You go into knockout stage and there's 32 teams instead of 16. But win 2 games in the knockout stage. That's what it has to be. If they go in and lose the first game to Bosnia, it was a failure still. I'm sorry.
Well, especially if you're going to be that overwhelming of a favorite against Bosnia, too, which apparently, and I don't know anything about Bosnia, to be honest with you. I did hear that their best player is like 41 or something like that.
Okay. So he's well seasoned.
So they're running a bunch of old men out there.
Oh, you want some of this old man?
So
best players, Tom Brady or something like that. They have their own Tom Brady.
Tom balled out when he was 40. So, they'll be careful.
I don't need to see us lose the first game that really matters, where there's more skin in the game, where there is a chance we could lose, and the pressure will be on in this game. I mean, the pressure was on initially, but they played so well in the opening game against Paraguay, and then against Australia as well. And now it's, I'm sorry, you built up expectations. You have to live up to them.
That's
and if we are
100%.
making any inroads in soccer, in football, if we are going to start taking over a little bit, win 2 games in the knockout stage, anything after that's gravy.
Yeah, 100% agree. Can you imagine? Look, you always kind of get the home field advantage, the home cooking with the United States and Mexico and Canada being the host country. So you're going to have some juice behind you for sure. But they actually have some real talent. We've already talked about being a talent deficit when it comes to the players that we have for Team USA, and obviously the recruiting, being able to go out and get guys from overseas that have citizenship, so they have the talent at this point to actually make a run.
I like what we saw from Sebastian Berhalter.
Yeah.
And I liked it even more when I saw that, his father was the one who got screwed on the handball against Germany back in 2002 that was at the goal. So, I don't know, is this a little bit of revenge? Now, he doesn't typically start, and I expect them fully healthy to start the same guys that did against Paraguay.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know.
Richards.
You at least found something out about a guy who was screaming afterwards on his goal, "I'm him," like he was Austin Reeves against the Memphis Grizzlies back in 2023.
Which, by the way, I love.
You love the "I'm him"?
Yeah. Have some confidence. Puff your chest out. Scoring a goal in soccer is difficult. I don't know if you know that. Everybody can't score as easily as Messi, you know.
It's true.
Speaking of 40-year-olds.
I don't know
My
how
God.
he's doing this. Like, he's going to win the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. And then, I mean, Ronaldo actually showed up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean,
too little, too late?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, obviously he's still alive. But
You want to talk about pressure. It was on him.
It was. Because a lot of people were like, oh, after the first game, they was like, damn, what happened to you?
What about your old ass?
It's just
What do you got for us?
Take it easy over there. I'm getting old.
He's like, I got money in the bank. What you got? That's his thing. His old LeBron James. I'm going to go living my life and doing my thing. You guys go back into your crappy lives, and I'll be fine with my $100 million contract.
You know, we don't normally do this in the opening segment, but because it's a subject we're not as seasoned on ourselves, and we like talking with the fans here, 877-99 on Fox. Andrew, calling in from Bakersfield. He's called in plenty of times before. He's a good caller. Andrew, we moved you to the front of the line because of that. What do you think about World Cup soccer and Team USA losing their final game in group?
Well, thanks, guys. First, I think the announcers have done a great job, and the former U.S. players like Toby Jones, Mauricio Adu, and Landon Donovan are incredibly knowledgeable and eloquent.
Did you mention Alexi Lawless? I didn't hear his name in there. I don't know.
Yeah, Alexi Lawless is the
okay.
man, and
Okay.
Very polarizing, Alexi.
Now, you guys got to check the brackets for me, but what I'm hoping to see possibly is England to destroy everyone in their path, right? Let's go, Harry Kane. And then the U.S. also to destroy everyone in their path. And then they meet up at the World Cup final in New York, New Jersey, and the U.S. destroys them 4-0.
On the 250th anniversary of America, that'd be pretty. Some people thought they'd get them on the 4th of July.
Right. That's kind of what people were hoping for.
Yeah, that's too much of a fairy tale. That's for the movies. This is real. I'd rather get Bosnia early on, to be honest, even though England does choke a ton.
Yeah, so that's kind of their calling card.
That's what they do. Have they not won since like the 30s or something like that?
Something like that. It's been a long period of time.
It's bad.
They've been better these last couple of cycles, but for a long period of time, they were god awful for their standards.
Yeah. What else?
Lastly,
yes.
You really have to be able to evaluate talent. Hi, Mike Harmon. Thanks, guys.
All right. I didn't understand that last part that much.
Neither did I.
Comment about Mike Harmon. Evaluate talent? Okay, well, we look pretty talented right now.
I would say so.
That's my novice neophyte evaluation of Team USA. But because of that, there are expectations. And you actually have to perform now under pressure in the knockout stage where everything else before this was gravy because it wasn't win or go home. So different level of pressure is going to be applied. How will they respond to that? I'm excited to see it. The matchup and the betting odds all favor Team USA, of course. But you hope that we aren't talking about next week. You know what? Maybe they did lose momentum when they lost that final game to Turkey. They lost that momentum.
I'm not going on that.
Okay. No matter what.
They can lose on Wednesday 7-0, and I'm not going to say they lost their momentum.
7-0.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about Germany versus Brazil back in 2014 in Brazil when Germany did them like that. It was 7-1. But
mega collapses. My God.
It was an all-timer.
Yeah.
Coming up, we got some NBA talk for you because there have been a couple of trades already, even though it's still early. Free agency hasn't even opened up yet. But we got some opinions on what happened with Charlotte and Minnesota. And then also, did Milwaukee get enough for the Greek Freak? And does the Miami Heat still have enough left to actually win with him? This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Keep up with all of your NFL offseason news. Come on! At Fox Sports Radio. When it affects your team.
I'm a Niners fan. Jets, yo.
At Fox Sports Radio. When your divisional rival makes a move. At Fox Sports Radio.
And some of this stuff we really need to talk about.
Go ahead. At Fox Sports Radio.
If you're a fight fan and you haven't seen the BKFC app yet, you're missing the world's most exciting combat sport. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has changed the game. No gloves, no stalling, no boring rolling around on the ground. Just
Bree had me give it to you.
your entertainment. The BK
Bree had me find it for you.
Past fights, original series, behind-the-scenes access, merch discounts, and more. Only $7.99 a month, or
It was up on top of a shelf when you first walk in, so whatever.
What's up, Foos? Main event Jay Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And The Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Pay testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's Ben Maller.
It's the gas bag on the radio who is tossing verbal raspberries at you.
Your late night getaway. The big dog.
Big.
Got it?
I disagree.
Good.
So I have abstract art, Fisher Price, and the Mighty Zoltar.
What the hell did he just say?
It's the Ben Maller Show.
What kind of acid was someone on when they cooked this up?
Listen on the overnights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Let's go!
You must have been busy, but The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington, we're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Anybody listening to my voice in Detroit or the suburbs, this is the beginning of the end of Dan Campbell. A bad season here, and I expect the Lions to make a change. Because this will be 2 bad years, possibly, right? Not making the playoffs. A blown chance against Washington when they were the number 1 team in the NFC. And a blown chance at a Super Bowl. They were 2 quarters, a half away from getting in the Super Bowl. And even Dan Campbell said it then. Remember, he was bummed out. He said, we may never get back to this place again. And now I'm more convinced than ever when you look at the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, year number 2. Michael Parsons eventually going to get back to Green Bay. They got offense. And now the Vikings have upgraded their quarterback spot or situation. So who's the weak link now in the NFC North? Is it the Detroit Lions who keep hemorrhaging players? And their star center had to quit, tried to come back. He failed the physical. Like, you could go on and on and on. They couldn't pay their second running back because they had to dump him, let him go on his merry way, couldn't pay him. You can't pay everybody. And as I look at this roster, look at this team hemorrhaging players, it's not the same from 3 years ago. The demise of the Lions has started big time. and I expect
to get the rest of what the Odd Couple said. Podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. I did. It's Dan Patrick. Yeah, him. You trust Dan. You need Dan.
Nobody needs to know that.
Because without Dan, mornings just wouldn't be the same.
This is guaranteed to go wrong. Horribly wrong. Absolutely.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Need I say more?
Shut up. Yeah. That, to me, was a little cringeworthy there.
Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, right here.
I want publicity.
On Fox Sports Radio. We like to give. We give you news.
There is late breaking news.
It has been confirmed.
Multiple outlets have just reported.
We give you videos.
Watch us live on YouTube right now.
We give you a platform.
Go ahead, you're on Fox Sports Radio.
FnA is great as the engine has.
We give you the best sports talk lineup in the nation. All day, all night. We're giving it to you.
How you do anything is how you do everything, right?
You know you're listening to Fox Sports Radio, the premier sports lineup in the nation. FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams. FS1 has what you need. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presents the BKFC app, the hottest thing in combat sports. No gloves, no boring ground game, just insane knockouts and viral moments. Watch live events, past events, and more. Just $7.99 per month. The BKFC app at bkfc.com.
Well, with all that, it sounds like you've got a pretty big night planned, huh?
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on FSR, and be sure to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube, and you'll see our best videos from all of our shows. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you agree with, and even those you don't. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube and subscribe.
Coming up next hour, La Murray from The Athletic will be here live. We're going to do it live with him. Coming up next segment, we got some Stranger Than Fiction for you, which veers into two different lanes. It's part world's dumbest criminals, part when animals attacks.
Two of my favorite shows of all time, by the way.
It happened out here in the Pacific Ocean this week. We'll tell you about
Somebody tried to steal a dolphin or something?
I'm a dumbass.
The dolphin wasn't having it anymore?
They tried to put it in their fish tank or bathtub at
I
home.
thought we were friends.
PETA's not going to want to hear that. They better not. Dolphins are too smart for that.
When porpoises attack, huh?
They'll get you with their nose.
Okay.
But, well, there's no Dolphins team in the NBA.
No, that's unfortunate.
That's reserved for the Miami Dolphins and their cursed franchise since, like, I don't know, mid-70s.
Yeah, early 70s, yeah.
We do have to talk about some other cursed franchises. I mean, the Minnesota Timberwolves have never won a championship.
Are they cursed? Was there a Lil B type curse that was placed on their franchise at some point?
Lil B is known for curses.
Let's play a game of 21. It's really fun. I got half-court shots and I'll post you up.
And bad raps.
Yeah.
But he got James Harden, and it led to a 13-turnover game and a must-win game in Game 5 in, 2014. Golden State versus the Rockets. I don't know if it's a curse, but they've been mismanaged. They've gotten nailed by the NBA for circumventing the salary cap back with Joe Smith in 2000, and that probably kept them from building a better team around KG to eventually win a championship. 2004 was their best chance.
The cool part is they actually built competitive rosters with him. So it's like you said, imagine if they actually had all those resources that were taken away because of the Joe Smith deal.
Yeah, it's true. The Sprewell Sam Cassell team may have won if Cassell's back didn't flare up against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Lakers reloaded with Karl Malone and Gary Payton. But there was a trade made between Minnesota and the Charlotte Hornets, and it's kind of important because a guy got moved in this that is extremely polarizing with his play, and that would be LaMelo Ball.
Right. And there's a part of me that understands the move because it does fill a need. You know, Anthony Edwards, I think, is at his best as a secondary creator and has a little too much on his shoulders as having to be the playmaker for Minnesota, which is probably why they went to the well looking for veterans like Mike Conley to sort of take the ball handling pressure off of him. So I would agree that they needed to bring in somebody who can handle the burden of carrying the offensive load and having the ball in his hands more so than Anthony Edwards. They can use help. I do not know if LaMelo Ball was the right person to bring in to fill that role.
Kevin, you know I don't like to pat myself on the back,
Sure you don't.
But I think
Let
we
me
have
guess.
to play.
Sorry, so Adam pulled a clip from a podcast that we did from 5 years ago where he said LaMelo Ball will be a bust or something.
It was 1 year ago.
Okay.
We were filling in for Rogan and Rodney. Imagine that. And
That was on our LA affiliate, AM 570 LA Sports.
yes, I said this about Minnesota and Anthony Edwards and where things could be headed.
Who could be the next Luka? Where there was obviously an issue with him in Dallas, and we didn't all know about it till it happened. But who could be the next guy like that? What if things don't go well for the Minnesota Timberwolves? Because they just put themselves in a place where they have a very high standard. They've been to the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years with a different core, but Anthony Edwards is the guy. What if they don't make it there this year? Looks like a step back. At some point, Anthony Edwards grows frustrated, sees that they're not going over the second apron and they're not spending enough. Like, that's what teams I think are realistically looking at when it comes to getting those stars.
Well, the issue with that, and you're right, but you don't just make a move for the sake of making a move, which is kind of what this looks like, because what you have done to yourself, you have zapped your depth in the front court while playing in a conference where front court depth is kind of important, where you're playing against Oklahoma City and San Antonio.
And it was the reason they got to the Western Conference Finals in back-to-back years.
Yeah. So Julius Randle, that move earlier in the week, I sort of understood. You got off of his contract. You created a trade exception. You open up MLE where you can try to get more depth for a guy who's a good player, but has his deficiencies at times too. So I would have understood that if you're going to try to take his money and build more out on the roster and save on the luxury tax. But then to take part of that and turn it around and trade for LaMelo Ball, who is inefficient, high wire act. I don't know how good of a culture fit he's going to be with Minnesota.
Oh, he and Ant will get along swimmingly.
And shouldn't it say something if you're the Charlotte Hornets and you've been dog-ass for the past 15 years or whatever it's been, and you finally start creeping up and make it to the play-in, and you have a guy that played 72 games, and as soon as it looks like you're turning the corner, you trade him away? Shouldn't that tell you something, Minnesota?
I think so. But what it told me was they got desperate because, like I said a year ago, Ant started to get frustrated. There were multiple reports out there that he was looking around and wondering, where's my help? And he was still apparently upset from the Cat trade, who then he just had to see win the championship with the New York Knicks.
But this is where you have to sit with your star and talk to him. And by the way, I find it hard to believe that they did not talk to Anthony Edwards before they made this move. I'm sure he had to have signed off on it. But the players, with all due respect to them, don't always necessarily know what's best for them. And there's also an element of, to your point, we've been doing this. We've been knocking on the door the last couple of years. What we're doing isn't working. So let's try something different. Now I was like, try something different. This goes, and I go back to this all the time. Something Isaiah Thomas said. Now, granted, this trade is not as egregious as that one, but when they had Stephon Marbury in New York, and they traded for Steve Francis, and a reporter for New York asked him,
"What could go wrong?
Why would you trade for a high usage or a high usage point guard when you already have a high usage point guard?" And Isaiah Thomas's answer was, "It's crazy enough that it just might work."
I'm a dumbass.
That is not something I want my general manager saying about a trade.
Yeah.
This is not that egregious, but it's pretty damn close to it.
Here's what I'll say. LaMelo is young enough at 24 and coming off his most impactful season when it came to winning, because when he was on the floor, the Charlotte Hornets had a 125 offensive rating, if not the best, one of the best offensive ratings in the league.
It went down to like 108 or something like that when he wasn't on the floor. It was astronomical.
Yeah, huge net rating swing. They weren't the same without him, and they're going to have to figure that out. But he still has defensive issues. He's erratic.
He's not efficient.
He's he's inefficient because he takes far too many bad shots. I mean,
he's 38 on threes, but he shoots 40% from the field overall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like his effective field goal percentage isn't that bad because the threes weigh into it, but he still has to clean all that up. Like he has to. This is it for him as well, I think. He's still young enough to do that. But my biggest problem is last year was not only an outlier with his play and the net rating and offensive rating there, he actually played
72 games.
Yeah. The 3 years before that, he played 105 games total. He has had recurring ankle issues going on. He may have some bulging cankles now there.
He's not wearing the big baller shoes that killed his brother's career. Lonzo, is he?
Oh, God. The triple Bs?
Yeah.
I don't think he is. I don't think anyone is. I got to be honest.
Lonzo, to his credit, was like, yeah, you know what? I wore those shoes because my pops kind of wanted me to, but I knew they were terrible.
Well, LeVar's got one of them on at least. Okay, that was
LeVar's going through some stuff right now. So,
Love LeVar Ball. Good father, helped his kids. Good man. But this reach for desperation or out of desperation by the Minnesota Timberwolves here could backfire and actually end up expediting Ant's ability to leave.
My thoughts exactly.
He's on a 3-year contract. And what could happen is, okay, you can keep him for 2, but in that last season, you can't keep waiting. If he wants out then, you got to make that move and get something for him.
Yeah, and interestingly, and I don't know if they did this intentionally or if it's just coincidental, but his contract aligns with LaMelo's, which also aligns with Jaden McDaniels. All those guys have expiring contracts the exact same year. So I don't know if they're talking about, look, if this doesn't work or if he's unhappy, we do some sort of massive overhaul and ship these guys out and try to do something different. I'm not sure.
You're out.
My issue is, after the trade of Julius Randle, after the acquisition of LaMelo Ball, the Timberwolves, at least in my opinion, are not a better basketball team today than they were on Monday. And that's my issue.
I think offensively, they're different. They're more dynamic, and they could be much better on that end.
They are most definitely better offensively. I will not question that.
Ayo Dosunmu, and that move was nice by them too,
phenomenal.
which was freed up because of the Julius Randle trade. And I like that move.
Yeah, but losing now, if they could have found a way to keep Naz Reid, which was probably impossible, but if you could have found a way to keep Naz Reid and bring in LaMelo, I wouldn't be as against this trade.
You know how beloved Naz Reid is in Minnesota?
I don't.
2 years ago, when they made it to the Western Conference Finals, a tattoo parlor gave out free Naz Reid tattoos. There are thousands.
I was going to say, how many people
Minnesota
actually came in and got them?
That have Naz Reid tattoos. They're going to have something redrawn on top of it for LaMelo or whatever.
What are they going to do with it now?
I don't know what you do. Just say, put Illmatic underneath it instead and try to make it. No, I was talking about the rapper. What do you mean? He was beloved. And that's one of the reasons he stayed with them on a pretty reasonable contract. He was their kind of heart and hustle guy. To lose Naz Reid out of this, I could live with pretty much anything else.
Yeah, I mean, the versatility, too. I mean, he can shoot from the outside, a solid defensive player, can actually do a little bit in the post if you needed him to. Like, he's kind of a do-everything player for you.
I'll reserve some judgment because they could still get a 4 somehow. Tim Connolly, their GM, he's pulled rabbits out of hats before. I like him.
Going to be out of a hell of a hat.
But this was bold and desperate.
Because what money do you have left and who's out there that you can actually fill the gap with? That's the problem.
I don't know how it's going to come together for them. But there was another trade that I actually think may be worse, Kevin.
Okay.
And I can't believe this because the team, typically, whoever gets the best player in a trade in the NBA wins the trade. This may not be one of those cases.
Yeah, you know what this is? And I feel like it's been mentioned multiple times this week, but I do think it rings true. Giannis being traded to the Miami Heat is drawing parallels to Carmelo Anthony being traded to the New York Knicks.
I had not heard that, and I like it a lot.
Remember, Carmelo Anthony, I believe, was going to be a pending free agent with the Denver Nuggets, forced his way out, and the Knicks would have had the salary cap space, if I remember correctly, to sign him as a free agent.
They couldn't wait.
To give him a max contract. He couldn't wait. He forced his way out. Denver traded all these good assets. Raymond Felton, who was the tall?
I thought you said good assets. Sorry. Okay.
Felton was a solid player.
He was solid. I saw him outside Roscoe's one time and talked to him. Nice guy.
All right. How much chicken and waffles did he put down?
Well, I didn't see him in there at his table, but I put down a few, I can tell you.
Right. Felton, Ty Lawson, Gallinari. There was a bunch of guys.
Wilson Chandler
was in that mix. There was a bunch of guys that if they were there with Melo, the Knicks damn near could have won a championship with Carmelo Anthony there. Who the hell knows?
The Knicks winning a championship, I just don't believe.
Never going to happen. Absolutely. So Giannis Antetokounmpo gets traded to the Miami Heat, who basically do the exact same thing that the Knicks did about 15 years ago and trade away literally the entire roster outside of Bam Adebayo, which, great. Adam, you and I didn't pull the clip, but you and I talked about this on the show about a month ago, and I was like, if this happens and Miami has to trade away their roster and all you have is Giannis and Bam, that's a phenomenal defensive front court. You ain't got crap else.
You're a smart mother. That's right.
That is a major issue.
And they have so little cap room. I think they have around $18 million that they can spend. That won't even get you Norman Powell back.
Well, I mean, you know the cap a little bit better than I do. I mean, they should have his bird rights, right? So they should be able to sign him and go over the cap to keep him, I would imagine.
That's a good question. They made that trade with the Clippers last season. Obviously, the Clippers weren't going to end up paying him, but
to your point, if they do, it eats into their free cap space, and now they have to operate as an over the cap team.
Yeah.
So
and that means you lose. I'm guessing they're already dangerously close, at least, to being over the first apron, which would mean they don't have their non-taxpayer mid-level exception, where you'd have about $15 million freed up to use, nor their biannual exception, which is about $6 million.
So, I mean,
they're going to fill it with like a lot of veteran
minimums.
$3 million contracts.
Because look, as of now, you're talking Giannis, you're talking Bam. Wiggins is still there, I believe. He has a player option for $30 million, which I believe he's going to pick up.
That's the one trade asset they could still use to
As an
try to
expiring.
spread the wealth around a little bit, maybe.
Now he still helps you. I mean, he can
he's good.
make an outside shot. He's a good defensive player, obviously.
He's versatile. The
Yeah.
Lakers are probably still hot to trot for him.
I'm sure.
The 5th straight year.
Yeah. And you know, to your point, the problem is even if you bring back Norm Powell, he's not a guy that's going to be an offensive initiator for anybody.
You're
Who the hell
right.
is your point guard going to be?
He's more of a finisher. Who's setting the table? Who's getting the ball? Giannis can obviously handle the rock some, but you don't.
Yeah,
And this
guard.
is what Minnesota just did to help alleviate the burden from Anthony Edwards. You don't want to have that guy bring the ball up, have the ball in his hands. You want to make him more of a play finisher at times,
Right.
instead of just ISO, because that will alleviate the burden of having to do so much offensively and wear him down. Him and Bam together, I don't mind.
No.
Defensively, they are probably going to be pretty darn good.
They'll be
They
dominant.
should be. But offensively, it's going to look really clunky at times unless they find some guards and shooters to spread the floor. It's not like either here or Bam. Bam does it a little bit. He's taken more
No.
threes lately.
Bam is Barkley stat. Now he's not that bad, shooting 20%.
Come on, Barkley.
I'm a dumbass.
But he's shooting a lot of threes.
Yeah.
A high volume
Well,
of threes and not a lot very efficient.
How you going to score 70 points without
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
threes?
While you shoot 80 free throws.
But neither guy, they're not as complimentary offensively as you would like.
Yeah.
The best comp I came up with for these two together was Anthony Davis next to Boogie Cousins back in, God, what was that, 2015? Something like
14,
that?
15. But even those guys, at the very least, there was a little bit of switchability. They both can make an outside shot.
They both
had a handle a little
probably
bit.
could stretch the floor a little bit more than either Giannis or Bam.
Yeah, that's a weird mix. Now, one thing we're going to disagree with is the other side of the trade on this. Because I know you're a fan of the fact that they made that trade with the Miami Heat. If I were Milwaukee, I seriously would have considered making the Jaylen Brown trade instead. Because for me, if you're a small market team that has trouble drawing in free agents, there's one of two ways that you can become a contender. You draft a guy like Giannis and cultivate him in your system, or you have assets to be able to trade for a guy that's a star player. And Jaylen Brown is not a superstar by any means. He's a star. He's not a superstar. But if you bring him on, I don't know if he's a one on a championship team. I know he was the finals MVP. James Worthy was the finals MVP for the Lakers too, but I mean,
it's true.
So
Context.
It is. It doesn't mean he's not a great player.
If he's not a one, though, he is very,
He's
very close.
He's
very
probably
close. Last year, the first half of last year, he was an MVP talks.
No doubt.
Like legitimately a top 3-4 player in the league.
He's on the cut line of like top 8 in the league, give or take, depending on the time. So if you're able to acquire him, move some other assets around, you have some, expiring contracts like Kuzma, get some trade assets, get some first round picks, and try to build a contender around him. You have him locked up. I believe he has 4 guaranteed years left on his contract. I much rather would have made that trade if I were Milwaukee, because I think that shortcuts your rebuild and makes you into a contender sooner. It might not be this coming season. You might have to weather it a little bit this year, but then going into the following season, you could have some building blocks to be able to put some pieces around them to actually be a competitor in the Eastern Conference. If I were the Milwaukee Bucks, I would have made the Jaylen Brown trade, not the Miami Heat. I don't hate the Heat trade. You got a lot of good young assets on good contracts, a lot of movable pieces, but I would have preferred trading for the established all-star in Jaylen Brown.
Here's why I disagree a little bit, and I don't hate it, but I just don't love it. I agree with what they did overall. Jaylen Brown is 30 now. He's no longer 27, 26, 28. For so long, he and Jason Tatum, it felt like you kept making the joke, oh, look, they're only 19.
Right. Yeah.
Look how young these guys are. They're going to be together forever. How many are they going to win? He's 30. He's got 3 years left on this contract.
3, okay.
And I don't know if I'm going to be able to build a legitimate contender in time before he could just leave as an unrestricted free agent, because also I'm factoring in he's very mercurial lately. his personality.
I feel like he kind of always has been to a degree. I think now it's just kind of showing a little bit more because of the tenuous situation with the trade rumors.
And saying that this was my favorite season in Boston was weird. All the Twitch streaming, it just makes me a little bit more uncertain about which direction he may go if you try to make him your number one guy, or at least your 1B next to whoever else you think you're able to get. Where you get all these draft picks and you even get young players like Khalil Ware, which a lot of teams have wanted, you at least know you have a longer runway to build. You're right. It's hard. You're still going to have to draft that number one guy. It ain't Tyler Hero. He's on an expiring contract, and that's viewed maybe negatively at this point. But you got a lot of picks, and you got some good young guys that you can at least grow with and figure it out that way where you have more of a timeline. But I get what you're saying.
All right, coming up next, it's an Attack of the Dolphins, right? Is that what it is?
Dan Marino is not involved.
Oh, okay. Larry Zonka, anybody?
Laces were out. We got Stranger Than Fiction in our own backyard here in Southern California. Why are people acting like jackasses just because the new movie is out? Come on, get it together. This is FNA on Fox Sports Radio.
We are the guys you can listen to.
No pandering.
All grit.
It's like an old relationship.
We are the girls you can trust.
Listen.
Who said this was a good idea?
They completely go together.
We have a sound that resonates.
Let that one sink in.
From the weekdays to the weekends.
That's what we do, baby.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Drew McIntyre here from WWE. Wielding the Claymore can be a life of chaos. When I'm not dominating in the ring, Chumba Casino is how this warrior takes a wee break. With hundreds of online social games and new weekly releases, there's always something fresh to try. And those daily boosts, next level. Even my free time feels like Valhalla. So when life feels like a battle, kick up your feet, have some fun, and let's chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
If you're a fight fan and you haven't seen the BKFC app yet, you're missing the world's most exciting combat sport. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has changed the game. No gloves, no stalling, no boring rolling around on the ground. Just pure violence and pure entertainment. The BKFC app includes live events, past fights, original series, behind-the-scenes access, merch discounts, and more. Only $7.99 a month or $49.99 a year. Get the BKFC app at bkfc.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove all the doubters.
When Dan Patrick speaks, you better stop and listen. This is the Dan Patrick Show.
You know, Diana Taurasi, I don't think is on the poster. Tamika Catchings is not on the poster. Candace Parker not on the poster. Sue Bird not on the poster. Now, granted, you can't have everybody on there. I get that. But, okay, the current face of the league and some of the founding fathers here, or however you want to describe them, but, you know, the founding members. So you got to put Angel Reese on there. You got to get Angel Reese on there, get some clicks. I mean, Paige Becker's just got to the league. Wonderful player. But come on. Like, how did somebody go, let me see. Let me think. Who did we leave out here? I don't know. Looks good to me. I mean, is Cheryl Swoops on there? Cynthia Cooper on there? Cheryl Miller on there? Like, I don't know. How far are we going back? I have followed women's basketball for a long, long time. And as much as I look at the WNBA, the growth of it and the stars, you know, they go 92 yards and they kick a field goal. That's the feeling I get. It just feels like the WNBA doesn't get it. Take advantage of these moments. Sell the stars. And but you have a poster and you forget to put. I mean, Taurasi's one of the 3 greatest WNBA players of all time. Like, we're not even debating these things. Oh, my God.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Right now,
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
The WNBA keeps growing. They celebrated its 30th anniversary, so they released a promotional poster. Now, this on top of what happened with Caitlin Clark. So they have this anniversary poster they're going to put out. And you're like, okay, there's a lot of players to celebrate. You can have the older players, former players, the newer players. You know, they had Paige Beckers on it. They had Angel Reese on it. They did not have Caitlin Clark on a promotional poster to celebrate 30 years. That'd be like if the NBA put out one and they didn't put Wemby in there. And you'd be going, well, of course they'll put Wemby in there because he's the future of the sport. Caitlin Clark didn't make it. Now I'm wondering, did the WNBA do this? Was this strategy so people would be like, I can't believe what they're doing with Caitlin Clark?
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific.
On Fox Sports Radio. This is the Jason Smith Show.
Check this out.
With Mike Harmon.
The Lakers aren't really building around Luka. I think they're kind of sort of building around him. Whereas, okay, we want to keep the talent that's here. We see where it works. JJ Redick has been pretty successful the first couple of years. There's been drama with LeBron James, but it worked, when he was healthy last year. We got out of the first round of the playoffs without Luka Doncic, but I feel like this is not an overall complete total. We are now going to get all the players that Luka needs. Whatever Luka wants, we're going to give to him. I don't see that. I see that as, hey, this version of the Lakers works pretty well, but I don't know that he's not one more injury away from the Lakers going, we just can't count on the guy.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
On Fox Sports Radio.
We're for you. We're here for you.
I can't let this audience down.
That's why we're giving back.
How wonderful. Bringing it to the entire nation.
Oh, yeah.
Keep this in mind.
We're giving you the best sports and entertainment on your platforms.
Right, because that's how we operate. It's about the consistency.
Every day. That's the truth.
Whether it's through your speakers, podcasts, or social, we're giving back on Fox Sports Radio.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Go! Check them out.
FS1.
Check them out.
FS1.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presents the BKFC app, the hottest thing in combat sports. No gloves, no boring ground game, just insane knockouts and viral moments. Watch live events, past events, and more. Just $7.99 per month. The BKFC app at bkfc.com.
This place is dead anyway, man.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on FSR coming up in about 10 minutes. Law Murray of The Athletic going to hop on and talk some more NBA with us. A lot of moving and shaking so far. And as Adam mentioned, free agency has not even begun yet. So got that to look forward to coming up later this week. So we'll talk more NBA with Law Murray coming up at the top of the next hour. But now,
A fast food customer defending her decision to call 911 after her McDonald's ran out of McNuggets.
That's something strange. You can't give a drunk man riding a horse a DWI because unlike cars, horses don't have motors. They have a mind of their own.
Strange things began to happen.
A 24-year-old man accused of throwing an alligator through a drive-through window.
911, what is your emergency? It's too hard.
Stranger than fiction. So earlier this week off the coast of Santa Barbara, Kayla Ross and her friend jumped on a paddleboard and went out to deep water, hoping to find a shark.
But they were trying to find a shark.
They heard there was a shark sighting and paddled out to get a closer look just to make sure, because they wanted to see a shark up close before Shark Week.
So they were clearly in town for the Mensa meeting, right? And decided to take a break and go out and try to see if they can find a shark. Got it.
They're picking up their Darwin Award early.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look, it's the Grim Reaper hanging out over there. Let's see what's up. Yeah, Steve Irwin would say this was a bad idea. Like, heard there's dangerous animals in these parts. Let's see how dangerous it gets. Like, no. Who thinks like this? There's a shark. Let's go see it. No. Why? It's something you'd see on the, speaking of Jackass, the Wild Boys show with Steve-O and Chris Pontius.
Sure.
Party Boy.
Yeah.
There is a new Jackass coming up, but these people probably not going to make it in because,
well,
I think the filming's already done.
Did they find what they were looking for?
So Kayla Ross, who was on the paddleboard, going shark watching, like it's bird watching. Oh, this is so nice. How tranquil. This expedition she took, her uncle also got involved from the beach, who had a drone up in the air and likely is the one that spotted the shark in the first place.
So he's complicit in this.
He is.
So nobody stepped in to say, ladies, maybe this is a bad idea. He's like, you know what? I'll take a drone and film it. Great.
He sent her out into open water. Here was Kayla Ross on the news, local news out here in Southern California, talking about the experience.
We paddled pretty far out because we went to the drone, and then he said that he saw something and that we had to head back to shore right now, but I didn't see it because I was just looking forward paddling. So I didn't know what he saw, how big it was, so we just went straight back, but that was a little nerve-wracking.
It looked like it might be a 10-foot great white. What do you mean? So now he's 2, and he tells them to come back?
Didn't you find what you were looking for? Isn't that what you went out there for?
Is this not what you want?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? No, you know what? We were looking for an orca, and we couldn't find it. So I guess it was a shark, and I guess that's a little more dangerous, which is not.
I said Santa Barbara, not the Valley, Kevin.
Oh, whatever. You will listen to her speak.
Just because her name's Kayla doesn't. No,
I heard her
She does
speak.
sound like that. This is not a joke, by the way, this next part.
All right.
This is not The Onion. But in the ABC 7 news report that I read, at least, apparently Kayla said the experience has not put her off paddleboarding, and she is hoping to encounter an even larger shark in the future. We're going to need a bigger shark. You're going to need a bigger brain, or at least a bigger paddleboard.
A series of movies called Death Wish. Is this going to be like Death Wish 8 starring Kayla?
Charles Bronson is the shark.
Exactly. Is that what this is?
Minute.
Unless you're Quint from Jaws with the orca boat, and even then he still got eaten.
Right.
I don't think this is a very good idea.
No.
I don't understand. Who does she think she is?
Now, she's clearly doing this for social media clout or something, right? I haven't seen her. You played the audio. She's probably in her 20s. She's trying to do this for a TikTokery or something like that.
Why else have the drone up there watching you on the paddleboard?
Do a nice little video montage. The problem is, how does she expect this to end?
30.
Smile selfie with the shark smiling behind her. Is that what it is?
You said smile?
Yeah.
Smile, you son of a...
Yeah, he's in the street sharks eating chimichangas. They'll bite your damn leg off.
Roy Scheider is not going to save you with the oxygen tank in the shark's mouth. Okay, Kayla? There's easier ways to get your 15 seconds of fame, which is pretty much what it is in today's world now.
100%.
10.
Coming up next, La Murray of The Athletic.
5 seconds.
Talk about trades, the NBA, and much more here on FnA on FSR.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch FnA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Check it out. The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
Right here. And so I would not re-sign LeBron because the Lakers don't need LeBron. They need a rim protector, more athletes. They drafted 1 and 2 elite wing defenders. And I know it's an incremental league. You can't solve all your issues. But I'm with Brian Windhorst, who says if the Lakers could sign and trade LeBron for Jarrett Allen, a very good big shot blocker, rim protector for Cleveland, they would do it today.
There is a thought process out there in Los Angeles, and I think if the Cavs were interested in this, the Lakers would sit up in attention right now, that they would sign and trade LeBron for Jarrett Allen. The Lakers would kill for Jarrett Allen. Kill for him. All right? They would do that deal in 17/10 of a second.
No band needs 3 lead singers. Who's on drums tonight? Luka needs the ball. Austin needs the ball. LeBron needs the ball. None of them good defenders. So and it's interesting because LeBron was recently with Steve Nash on his Mind the Game podcast, and he's kind of saying what we're saying, which is what the Lakers need. He could be a roadblock to that if he stays and signs with the Lakers. He's right. And it will be hard to get depth and more youth if you're paying LeBron, Austin, and Luka. So that's my take. It's not an anti-LeBron commentary. The Lakers feel a little bit like the Cincinnati Bengals. Bad O-line, can't run the ball, and can't make stops. It's a good watch.
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
This is who the NFL is. Everything goes. The only thing that can stop somebody from not playing in the NFL is if they're incarcerated. That's the only thing that could stop anybody from not playing. Back in. Exactly. But that's the only reason that they would pass on somebody. Oh, well, he's incarcerated, so I guess we should draft him or we should wait.
When does he get out?
Exactly. And then we'll have a supplemental draft. A supplemental jail draft, okay, after he gets out.
What is it, the longest yard? We're going to do it like the longest yard. We'll get him.
I just, like, it just.
You left out one thing.
Just don't surprise me.
You left out Colin Kaepernick. That's the only thing you can't do. You can't kneel.
Oh, yeah.
About social inequity.
That was the worst
There's
thing in the
worst.
world.
You can do everything else you said, but you can't kneel.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Jason Smith.
You ready?
Mike Harmon.
And that's it.
We've put the sports world on notice.
We're going to do our thing.
We've taken 2 of the best to disrupt the status quo.
That's not a bad idea.
Do you agree, Mike Harmon?
Oh, hell yeah. Good for them.
Did we mention they're best friends?
Ron Murray is good to go. They both need help.
It's the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need.
To find FS1 on your television,
Visit foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
The New York Mets fired manager Carlos Mendoza and then lost their 7th straight game, 2-1 to the Phillies. Boston beat the Yankees 6-1, and the first-place Yanks are now up just 1 game over the Rays in the AL East. Tampa Bay defeated Arizona 6-1. The White Sox were 22-1 winners against Kansas City. Milwaukee won its 5th straight, 6-2 over the Cubs. Minnesota blew a 7-0 lead, but then got a run in the bottom of the 9th, 1 in the 10th to win anyway, 9-8 over Colorado. The A's won at the Angels 9-3. Halos fired general manager Perry Manassian. Wins for Atlanta, Miami, and the Padres, who beat the Dodgers and Roki Sasaki 7-1. At the World Cup, Belgium won its group 5-1 over New Zealand, which was eliminated. Spain won its group 1-0 over Uruguay, which is out. Ties for Iran versus Egypt and for Cape Verde, which advanced after a tie against Saudi Arabia. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That's right. Hour 2 of FnA on FSR. Thank you guys for joining us as you always do. At Follow Adam A is where you can find Adam on X. I am at KFig1. We are at FnA Show. Check us out at FnA Show on YouTube as well.
Coming up, we'll talk about Austin Reeves and the contract amongst ourselves. But right now,
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.
Well, while white people are out there embarrassing themselves and doing stupid stuff like paddleboarding out in the ocean to see a great white shark up close and personal,
Better you say it to me.
we bring in this man who's a shark in his own way. He's circling all the big NBA stories and using his smarts. He's the ethical analyst. Just look him up at Law Murray, the NU, covers the NBA here in Southern California, but also nationally. And he's a good friend. Law, thanks for doing this here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
I'm more of a dolphin than a shark.
Echo? We can nickname you that. Better than Flipper. Law, we were just talking about some guys being flipped back and forth in some trades here. What was your initial reaction to Minnesota trading for LaMelo Ball, who can be a bit of a polarizing player?
And my first reaction genuinely was just remembering how potent that Charlotte Hornets team was. I know a lot of the national viewing audience didn't get to see it because Charlotte has spent a decade out of the playoffs, but I thought LaMelo Ball being on the floor was just the driver of one of the best teams in the league from January on. And yeah, they got clipped in the play-in tournament, which is why you don't start the way that team started. But I was like, man, they got something to build on. That's a pretty objective statement. Like, you played really well, you had a winning record, still didn't make the playoffs, you have something to build on. And Charlotte chose to sell high. And, rest in peace to the progress that team made. However, I get it. I get them selling high. We saw LaMelo Ball not play 30 minutes a game. We saw him have another traffic incident right after Kobe White was acquired. And you saw Kobe White agree to a deal to re-sign with the Charlotte Hornets. For me, it's all about, can LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards coexist? And I believe that they will. Like, Anthony Edwards I know people are going to focus on the dunks and the points and the fact that he's one of the best starting shooting, or one of the best shooting guards in the best shooting guard in the league. But man, that dude is so good. And people don't realize that he is the hub of everything that team is doing. He's the primary playmaker. He's the guy who, his relief was not even another guard. It was Julius Randle, now, obviously we all really eyebrow when Julius was traded and they didn't get anything back and they moved out of the first round. I really like the basketball fit between LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. Minnesota's got work to do. Charlotte's got work to do. It's a shocking trade, but I get it.
Yeah, Adam and I kind of kicked around that maybe they made this trade because to sort of appease Anthony Edwards, because he's been probably getting a little antsy these last couple of years. They haven't made it, out of the Western Conference Finals, made a couple of deep runs, but have fallen short. You upgrade in the backcourt position and have someone who can create plays and take some pressure off of them, but you really take a hit in the front court, getting rid of Julius Randle and Naz Reid. Your take on those who believe that this is sort of a desperation move by Minnesota to try to appease Anthony Edwards, and whether or not you think this will end up working out in their favor and they can, take this backcourt and be a contender in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I don't look at them as a contender in the West because they're not the Thunder or the Spurs. We saw the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
And that was the first Western Conference Finals in 3 years that didn't involve Minnesota. When you've gotten that close back-to-back years and you had the weird seasons that they've had, like, Minnesota has not been a dominant regular season team. Maybe they were that team in 2024 when they were a sneeze away from the 1 seed. But, they weren't that team in the regular season in 2025. They did well to make it back to the conference finals. They validated how good they could be, but they weren't consistent during that first year with Julius. And then last year, they were once again, a 6 seed, and again, they were still dangerous in the playoffs. They knocked off a Nuggets team that a lot of people believe could still make a deep run. So, that's the thing with Minnesota. Like, you are in a very sensitive part of your existence right now. It's the opposite of what Charlotte's going through. Charlotte, they used to not having no plans after May 1st. Like, Minnesota has given their young star a chance to play relevant basketball year after year. And so you're continuing to push that envelope because, you know, it doesn't take much, man. It doesn't take much in the West for a team to feel like they're close and for you to drop off. You're much more likely to do that than you are to sustain any success. They have a really good player. They're going to have a certain floor. I think that them going and changing things up is what was necessary after we saw how last season went for them.
Law Murray is our guest here on FNA on Fox Sports Radio. Law, Giannis Antetokounmpo gets moved to Miami. Do they have enough remaining pieces and enough money left to fill out the roster to the point where they can be a contender with him? Or is he just, going to another team that probably can't get over the top?
Yeah, that's probably the latter. Like, I mean, I know the Miami Heat went to the finals twice in the 2020s, but they're mid too. Like it didn't take Jimmy Butler leaving to really point that out. But since Jimmy Butler left, the dude's been the 10th seed, right? So Miami is a team that I'm glad they got Giannis. Like, they're a team that we keep talking about how they're going to add a big piece, and they never do. See Damian Lillard, and they got their big piece, and they were the appropriate team to make a move like this. Tyler Hero, Norman Powell were on the team last year, and injuries to Tyler Hero did pretty well to distract from the fact that those two dudes were duplicative of each other, And now I don't even know if Norm is coming back. Like, a lot of people in the first half of the year was running little victory laps for the Heat getting Norman Powell. Now, what's Norm's next contract look like, and is it going to be with the Heat? See, Miami don't need to worry about that because they got Giannis, and they have a partner in Bam Adebayo. Defensively, I like it. Offensively, you're packing the paint on that team, and you need to find guys who can actually make sure that you can, do something about just loosening things up for how Giannis likes to play. And so I think they're going to be good. And I think if you're the Heat, you're happy with that. But you ain't contenders. Like, the East is good. I mean, people are like, put some respect on the Eastern Conference. The Heat, they're going to be better because they have the better talent. But that better talent, he ain't had playoff success in like 4 years as well. So I think you have to lower expectations for them unless they can do what they used to do really well, and that's find some bargain basement guys to make some shots.
Well, what about the other side of that trade, the Milwaukee Bucks? Because there was a feeling that Jaylen Brown could have been had in a trade as well, and they decided to take the Miami package instead of taking Jaylen Brown. Do you believe they made the right decision in getting a bunch of young assets on controllable contracts as opposed to getting Jaylen Brown? And then I guess I'll make it a two-pronged question. Since Jaylen Brown did not get traded, what do you think their future holds for him?
Well, let's start with the Bucks' decision to make the move with Miami. I joke that they made that trade so that they could put Giannis on a team that was less likely to do anything about it.
Yep.
They and if they wanted to be petty with Boston, and I'm sure Miami, we already know what Pat Riley thinks about Boston. Like, we got winning time if you don't.
Boston. I mean, that's what they say.
Exactly. Like, now you have sowed seeds of dissension, which I feel like the NBA runs on that. That is the canola oil for the NBA is trying to get good teams to have fissures in their foundation, with how their best players are feeling about an organization. And so, it's an ongoing little 3-4 alarm fire that Boston's got right now. Like, the whole league would rejoice if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum had broken up. Like, we all know what happens when those two dudes play a respectable amount of games together. Like, they're contenders with experience winning a whole championship. Like, that's the kind of team you want to put around those dudes. The league would love those two dudes breaking up. I do gotta say, like, Jaylen Brown, I think is comfortable with the smoke, and I think Boston kind of is too. So I wouldn't be surprised if no trade happens. So I'm just going to do that. Like, I'm looking more towards how do they put the pieces back together and get back and bring Tatum and Brown back together rather than, looking at, like he's going to get traded. I'm sure it might happen, but I'm not really there yet.
From F Boston to FLA, except the Clippers, of course. Let's talk about the Lakers and what they did with Austin Reeves. I get it. You have to pay him. You can't lose him for nothing. Do you believe the report that they had to give him that deal in particular because Detroit was maneuvering their way to make a run at Austin Reeves?
Heck yeah, man. I mean, dude, free agency is really difficult, and these teams talk so much. That's why we have the trash rumor mill that we have now. Like Austin Reeves was going to get paid, and like he's got really good representation. Like them dudes had a feel and a pulse in the league, and he offers an ability that, I mean, if he would have left, he would have been a difference maker wherever he would go. I've got a lot of respect for Austin Reeves' game, and so do a lot of teams in the league. And the way the Lakers operate, they always trying to get over, like what player can we get, because we're the Lakers in a sense. And I'm sure they tried that with Austin. It worked once. Like dude went undrafted instead of, ironically, he could have been drafted by the Pistons around 5 years ago, would have been the best damn player in that draft and that, outside the lottery easily. So like, I really feel like Austin Reeves, forget how much you're paying him. There are some things that aren't replaceable. Yeah, he gets buckets, but the bond that he has with Luka Doncic is significant. Like, you can't mess that up. There are things that I don't feel like the Lakers are going to hit every box when it comes to what Luka Doncic feels like he needs to have a better chance at things next year. You can act like the Lakers were contenders last year if you want to. I never did, and I got a lot of people who blocked me as so. But I think everyone is being real about their situation. I think also it's critical to retain, and you, like whack-a-mole, you still got some things that you need to hit on, and we're going to see how they do that. But, it would have been an own goal if they would have lost Austin Reeves.
Nice.
Law, a couple of star centers at contract impasses with their incumbent franchises, Walker Kessler and Jalen Duren of Detroit. Of those two, who do you think is the most likely to leave their current destination or their current team?
Well, I'll tell you what, when we're talking about both of them, we're talking about a little thing called restricted free agency. Yep. And restricted free agency is a nightmare. I'm not to cover restricted free agency with the Clippers. It's not going to be, yeah, like you might want to pitch a tent, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think Duren's more likely to stay. He's an all-star. He was all NBA selection. He was a player who contributed to the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, a 60-win team, a team that was terrible, the worst team in basketball just 2 years ago. I think that whatever posturing there is, I feel like he's going to be back. Now, Walker Kessler is a player who I feel like he's going to be back as well, but I can see how this thing gets complicated. The Jazz have been tanking. Walker missed every game after November this past season. Like Walker Kessler is an effective player when he's played, and I swear so many of these dudes benefit from not playing. The dude plays 5 games and everybody's lining up to get him on their team and whatnot. And but the thing with the Jazz is if you pay him, and this is the concern with them, it's like, yo, you got a lot of money on the books. Like that Jazz team is going to be intriguing, but they already have a lot of money tied up in their front court. They have a little bit of a window, when it comes to Darren Peterson. Keontae George played really well last year. He justified having an extension himself. We're not even talking about Keontae George because that decision is not going to get made until October. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in Utah, a team that, got to win, and like I can believe the Angels this year when they say they ain't going to take. So with Walker Kessler, he's a good player, but what's it going to take? And plus, we also saw, ironically, this is how Walker Kessler got to the Utah in the first place. We also saw restricted free agency in the case of Colin Sexton resulting in a massive trade as well. You know, Utah was having a fire sale the same year Colin Sexton reached restricted free agency. Things were kind of like, who's going to blink? Next thing you know, Colin goes from Cleveland to Utah in exchange for Donovan Mitchell. We know that Utah has experience in making some outside the box moves. So, yeah, I think it's Kessler more than Durham, but it's restricted free agency. It's going to be, it's not going to be simple.
If it's not going back to the Lakers for LeBron James, where does he go? I mean, I couldn't believe Brian Windhorst was talking about Jared Allen for him. It's like, first of all, they can't take an incoming sign and trade in Cleveland because they're way over the apron. They're not just over the first apron, they're over the second apron. So how's that going to happen? Just total clickbait nonsense. But is there a place that would fit him better than LA, or is he just, I guess, Lakers fans are feeling like they're doomed that he's going to have to return?
That's a crazy thing to say.
I know.
That's wild. That might be a little bit of an overstatement, but
is it? Half the fan base wants him gone.
Yeah. All right.
At least.
Nah, like he look, man, like Zach and Joel Embiid was the best troll in basketball. You know, Joel wanted him on the Sixers, okay, back in 2018. Like, really, really bad. And when LeBron left Cleveland for the Lakers, Joel had one of my favorite of his troll tweets when he was like, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, they're not going to like you in Los Angeles. That's Kobe's town. And that dude, LeBron, it's been, that's how it's felt. Like, he's been polarizing in a Los Angeles uniform because you got Bron fans, you got Lakers fans, you got Kobe fans. It's a whole mess. I hate it. And ironically, it's like, it's a matter of the money. Like, LeBron can play. I'm sure LeBron wants to come back and play, but LeBron's a proud dude. And he's a calculated dude as far as understanding the landscape of the league and every little thing he knows he's going to watch. Like, that dude would be the first to tell you about the man in the arena. And that's a long way of saying, I feel like the team LeBron plays for is going to be a team that appropriately fits the story. I don't know how he gets to any other places that would qualify for. You know, Cleveland, I would love for him to get back to Cleveland. And to your point, Adam, I don't know how the money works. And I'm not going to sit here after midnight on the West Coast and pretend to figure it out. Like, my brain is fried. So we're not going to do that. Just hold tight, because no matter who he goes to, there's going to be a domino effect of some consequences, some that are easy to foresee right now, but because of the timing, maybe some things that we don't.
Yeah. Last one for me, Law. And if you don't have thoughts on this, then it's fine. But just the new owner in Portland is making
I'm going to have thoughts.
Yeah. Tom Dunn is making some headlines for the wrong reasons. Not traveling players because he wants to save money. The Micah Nori contract with one guaranteed year and a couple of options after that. And then the other day, he tells the city of Portland, I pay enough taxes as it is in this state. I'm not paying for a new arena. You taxpayers pay for it. Just your thoughts on the way that he has handled taking over the Portland franchise in his short tenure. He doesn't seem to be making a lot of friends up there right now.
Yeah, I think he has made some friends, though, and that's the dumb Blazers fans who want to be sycophants to a owner. And I will tell you straight up on the record, I can't stand y'all. Like, when dudes are out, look, when media is out here reporting, we're doing our jobs, we have a pulse in the sense of things. It's crazy to think that if you just don't say anything, it will go away. Or, hey, everything the new owner's doing is cool because, you know, we're the Portland Trailblazers. Our team is mid. You know, we're cool with not treating people well and shaking things up. It's funny how the sympathy goes to the richest people, even amongst the people who don't have any shot at getting that kind of wealth and influence. So that might sound like a rant that is a bit too deep for y'all at this time, but that's what this is. Like, we have a lot of fans who are like, we're going to support you even if you move our team. Like, I'm old enough to see another Pacific Northwest team get moving out of a great market into a market that I guess is cool now because they want to chip or whatever. So, no disrespect to my OKC Thunder buddies, but like, I still am waiting for the Supersonics to come back. I will be so upset if you go from bringing that team back after what's going to be 20 years or something like that, just to lose the biggest thing in town in Portland. Like, them fans, whether they realize it or not, like, that team means a lot. And a lot of us like going to Portland. So it's uncomfortable to say the least and to say the most. I think y'all need to respect the good journalism of people looking for this and trying to hold this dude accountable.
Law, just give me a yes or no to this, because you're talking about waiting. Are we getting the aspiration investigation report this week? Yes or no?
I'm going to talk to you next time, man.
All right, fair enough. We'll let him off the hook. At Law Murray, the NU is where you follow him. He does it for The Athletic. He's doing it now late night here on Fox Sports Radio with us. It's FNA. Law, love you, man. Good seeing you the other day. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Coming up next, maybe we'll get some of your phone calls on the Lakers and their situation they're in. They pay Austin Reeves all that money. All right, they got about $52 million left, but you got to pay LeBron. I don't know, Luke Kennard, Marcus
according to you
Smart.
and some other fans, do they have to pay LeBron?
Well,
they don't have to give LeBron squat.
You're right.
And based on some things in reporting that Sham said earlier this week, LeBron might be on the back burner. He might not be a top priority for them.
He probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I would move on if I was them. But the Lakers, this is what they do. They take care of superstars on the back end.
No, it's a little more complicated than that. So we can get into that and Austin Reeves and a lot more coming up on the other side. This is FNA on FSR.
That's what the World Cup sounds like. And your coverage starts here. From the South. Yes! To Fox and FS1 on your TV. We got you.
All right, World Cup.
It's the World Cup on Fox Sports Radio.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch FnA Thursday Night Impact every week on AM Sing.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AM Sing. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gotts and Company, live, Cavino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon, and The Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away. It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. The rush of racing, nothing beats it. But Chumba Casino comes close. Chumba's got fast spins, fun games, daily bonuses, and all the action you can handle. Now that's a ride. Ready to hit the throttle? Get in the driver's seat and head to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This January, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship takes over the ocean.
The inaugural Brews Cruise sails from Miami to the Bahamas aboard the Norwegian Jewel. 3 straight days with pool deck bare-knuckle fights in the Caribbean, massive parties, beach events, DJs, cigars, tequila tastings, and non-stop action. The lineup reveals coming soon. Cabins are disappearing fast, and the prices won't stay this low. Reserve your spot with just $200 down at bkfsea.com.
One guy sees the whole board.
I keeps it real, son. But here's where I got smoke with you, sir.
The other guy sees what he wants.
Kelvin, you're so full of it.
I know they won the game, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give it to you real.
They couldn't be further apart.
Well, let me say it this way.
Stop it.
And that's why this works. It's The Odd Couple.
Book it.
With Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
You know you make me wanna.
Keep screaming.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
These guys are sick, man.
There's only so many stakes when you get to the third games now with the new tiebreaker, where the tiebreaker is no longer being goal differential. So many teams have not just clinched, but clinched number one overall in their group, and there's a lot of games that just don't matter. Mexico's game. Hey, Mexico. Mexico's game didn't matter at all, right? Did not matter. This was a marquee game for FIFA to put on here, one of the host nations in a primetime window on a Wednesday night, and the game mattered zero. So you're going to see more games like this. You're going to start seeing in the next few days as the third round of games get going with all these teams, the big name teams, the big teams we expect to win the World Cup. The more games we see that they have with no stakes, I'm telling you, this will be the last time we have a World Cup that has this kind of tiebreaker that's about playing the head-to-head and not about the goal differential, or something different if they don't want to do goal differential, but something else where you're going to make at least some of the third games matter. At least you have to have some kind of hope where even if it's, hey, going in, if we win by 5 goals and they lose by 4, hey, we're getting it. Okay, at least you have something to hold on to it and not just the flat out you're eliminated. You're moving on. They're not going to have it because the TV, it's going to affect TV ratings, overall impact of the tournament, but mainly those television ratings of, hey, when you have a game that really doesn't matter, is it going to be a thing? And you don't want to have a tournament overall that has the optic of, well, this week of games are irrelevant. I don't need to watch the games this week. You already have enough trouble with the NBA during season going.
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's Colin Cowherd, outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's The Herd.
This is
The Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. Are you using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app? It's the button that looks like a microphone, which allows you to talk to us. Press it, record your message, and fire it off.
Rose Bowl game.
It's simple and intuitive.
Broadcast on radio.
On second thought, perhaps some people are confusing it with a smart speaker prompt.
Texas and Arizona.
Pretty sure that's what's happening.
Texas and Arizona football game.
Fox Sports Radio is at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app.
One.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Combat sports fans, this January, it's the Brews Cruise. Party with fighters. Watch a bare-knuckle fighting event live in the Caribbean. Plus DJs, bands, and chaos at sea. Prices increase soon. Hop aboard now. Go to bkfsea.com.
Hi, what's the good word there? FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Welcome back into Fox Sports Radio. This is FnA on FSR. I'm Adam Moslem. He's Kevin Figures. And remember, with the iHeart app, you can stream us wherever you are. Catch us in all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 on the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app so it will always pop up at the top of your screen. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeart app.
You know, we finished last segment talking about LeBron James and the love-hate relationship that many Laker fans have with him. And Law Murray brought up a good point in the previous segment saying that there are Laker fans, there are LeBron fans, there are Kobe fans, and anywhere in between. So like, the waters can get very murky when it comes to that.
Three's not company outside of a show. Okay?
Exactly. The thing is, whether or not the Lakers should move on from LeBron James, I say it's more complicated than that because it's not like he's not a productive player. He's still a top 20 player in this league, if not higher than that.
I agree.
Based on sheer production.
He was literally their best player in a first-round playoff series against a team that was heavily favored over them.
Yeah, like the specter or the aura that he hangs over organizations and all that, I certainly understand that, though I do think that's waning a bit. By his own admission, this is Luka Doncic's team with the Lakers, not his.
He understands that.
So if
he already was the third fiddle this past season for an entire month at least before they fell apart and everybody got hurt.
Yeah, that hot March that they had, I mean, and he played the role incredible. He played a Draymond Green on steroids type of role for them with a higher offensive floor.
Oh, no,
obviously.
LeBron wouldn't do that. He could never do that. He's got too big of an ego. No way. He'll never be the third fiddle. He can't even be the second. No, he did it.
Oh, I thought you meant steroids. But it's like,
well, you know, there are some reports out there, but I'm not
unsubstantiated.
Yeah, come on.
If the price were right and he fits in, I don't know why. If you are a Laker fan and you want the team to succeed and win, your best path forward is LeBron James on the roster. Now, it's not with him on the roster making 50 or 30 or 20 or whatever $1 million. But if it's at a reasonable price and you can load up the roster and get more help, I don't know why you would not want him back on the roster is my point. I don't want to pay him $40 million, obviously. No. But to say that I just don't want him on the team anymore because I don't want him on the team, that's just a ridiculous notion to me. It doesn't make sense.
A lot of Laker fans or Kobe fans, however you want to put it, they would rather lose a little bit more without him than win a little bit more with him.
Don't give in to hate.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But you know it's true with some of these fans.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Like, it is a complex. It is a syndrome, LeBron derangement syndrome.
Let the hate flow through you.
And it's disgusting. And there's no cure for it because the antidote is he retires, and that ain't happening anytime soon, at least I don't think.
The way for everybody to save face would be for him to retire. Then the decision is taken out of your hands. There's no pressure on the Lakers at that point.
Oh yeah.
You know, but to your point, he's not retiring. There's no way.
They have about $52 million, and really Austin Reeves' contract doesn't affect him so much right now. It's in the future.
Yeah, he's gonna be. We talked about bird rights, so they have his bird rights. They're gonna fill up their cap space and then sign him as an over the cap team as their own free agent. So it doesn't affect them there. I mean, is his contract going to be a quote-unquote albatross? I don't necessarily think so. If you look at the 3 guaranteed years, it starts as $41 million the first year, goes up to 44 to 47. So a $3 million increase every single year. The cap goes up every single year.
True.
So
he has to play at a high level.
That's the thing.
He still can and does need to get better.
Right. He's a 28 going into this next season. And people forget the first 22 games of the regular season, he was scoring 26 on 6 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 37% from 3.
He was going to be an all-star.
He was absolutely going to be an all-star. Then he had the lingering calf issue that plagued him the entire season off and on. And then, of course, he had the oblique that kept him out the second half of the season and into the playoff. And so people say, oh, he's never made an all-star team. And it's like, well, Jamal Murray for the longest time didn't make one either. It's not because he wasn't a good player. There's a lot of factors that go into that.
And he played like an all-star, obviously, Jamal Murray, when it mattered at times in the playoffs, mostly against the Lakers.
Yeah. So was it ideal that they pay him over $40 million a year? No. They probably would have rather kept it somewhere between 32 to 35.
I would take solace in the fact that Law Murray just kind of confirmed that, no, Detroit was making a big push for him. Because I have to be honest, when I first saw the report from Shams, I thought he was on cleanup duty for the Lakers PR team to say, no, we had to give him this much money, see, or else this team was going to get him.
There was a conversation that Dan Wojcicki, who does a great job covering the Lakers for The Athletic, he has a very good relationship with Austin Reeves and got an exclusive with Austin Reeves after he signed the contract. And Austin said he thought realistically for a while he was not going to return to the Lakers. That tells you right there. There was an impasse from a contract standpoint with the Lakers, and that there was an actual suitor out there. Now, Austin obviously will not on the record say what it was, But I firmly believe the Detroit Pistons were willing to go out there and max him out.
I think
I
he'd
really
be
do.
actually a perfect fit next to Cade. So
do I. I don't know if we said this on the air or off the air last week. It probably was off the air.
Yeah,
But
I think you did say that. Yeah.
Austin Reeves going to the Detroit Pistons is literally what they need. They need a secondary ball handler that can take some pressure off of Cade. They need scoring. He would have been perfect for them.
Minnesota also, I'd much rather have him than LaMelo Ball.
Agree.
But I don't know if they would have had, let's see, LaMelo's making about $40 million too. So now there's these reports out there the Lakers are interested in Naz Reid.
I did see that.
Like they're just going to be able to pick him off en route to Charlotte.
I don't know if that's the case. I think Charlotte's actually trying to build a contender. It would not surprise me if Charlotte thought ahead and did this, and they have, a $40 million trade exception. It would not surprise me if they made a run at Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Now they don't have necessarily assets that Boston would want. They'd probably have to loop in other teams to try to appease the Celtics. But I mean, if I'm Charlotte, and you have a chance that you have Naz Reid, you have Brandon Miller, you have Knipple.
They still might move Miles Bridges.
They could have Bridger, who has an expiring contract, I believe.
That would kind of make a clean break between that era and this new era.
Because it is a new front office that wasn't there that brought these guys in. It would not surprise me if they made a run at Jaylen Brown, and all of a sudden you have a young core with a 30-year-old Jaylen Brown. You could be pretty competitive in the Eastern Conference with that squad.
They do want to build off what they did last season, but I agree with the move because I don't think that 125 offensive rating with LaMelo Ball was going to hold up, nor would his health hold up well enough for them to have that much continuity out there. And it just seems like to me, when you have Con Knipple, who did play very poorly at the end of the year in those playing games, but Brandon Miller, rookie Wall, young player. I think getting Kobe White out of this too
was huge.
Who was signed immediately. They're in very good shape for the future. If they wanted to do something more drastic, like bring in Jaylen Brown, they could.
Right.
Or they could just play it out the way they have been, which is building slowly here. But it was obvious they had to pay Austin Reeves, the Lakers.
Pay that man his money.
Not going to let him walk.
Yeah, as much as people are bitching about the contract that are Laker fans, I understand. It's like, what's the other option?
Right.
You lose him for nothing?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good asset management. No.
And by the way, there's a misnomer that he's like some sort of turnstile defensively. Now, he ain't Ron Artest, but he's about league average defensively. And quite honest, and if you look deeper into the numbers, so every defensive lineup that included Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic was a plus for the Lakers. Their best defensive lineups, regardless of who the other three players were on the court, involved Austin and Luka.
Those guys,
they have continuity.
Are a good pairing.
Yes.
I still worry long-term about those defensive numbers. If they can actually stay on the court together for a while.
Well, you have to, and
it might take a dip, but the point is the Austin contract isn't what's going to make or break them. It's whether or not they can fill in the rest of the roster around them and if they still bring back LeBron James.
Yeah, what you need to do, you need to find find more Alex Carusos like the Lakers did. You need to find guys like that. Or if you do have a low draft pick, hope that a guy like a Cameron Carr, who is supposed to be an NBA-ready guy, can come in and be a contributor and turn into a contributor, a big-time guy for you. You need to be able to find gems, find second-round picks. That's the way that you're able to build.
Some of this is just bad luck right now because there's a dearth of big men that are out there.
And that's their biggest need, obviously.
They don't have many good options right now unless they could figure out a way to get Walker Kessler away from Utah, and I don't see Danny Ainge doing that, especially with the Lakers.
The only way that would happen is if Walker Kessler demanded a trade specifically to the Lakers and nobody else.
Yeah, I agree with you. So Robert Williams, Yusuf Nurkic, where are you going here? Mark Williams just re-signed with the Phoenix Suns, who the Lakers once traded for.
Bargain basement deal. He's making like $12 million a year or something.
Yeah.
For his some people will say his number production doesn't really add up to what his actual value is, which granted, I guess I can give you that. But still, Robert Williams is good in small doses, and maybe they try to piecemeal this thing together. If you bring in Robert Williams and Mitchell Robinson and try to tag team it or something, that's going to be really hard to do.
Two guys that are injury prone.
Right.
Can just one of them be available each night?
Guys, can you just tag them in and out? Everybody plays a 6-minute shift or something,
But it's like the problem for the Lakers is you don't want to make a short-term, short-sighted move to bring in somebody just to try to bolster your front court that's good, but that's not going to be good enough for you to win a championship. You may have to wait. Laker fans don't want to hear this, but you may have to still build slowly. And it may be next offseason. Now, that's not great for Luka Doncic in the position you're in with him.
Who's, he was camp told Dave McMenamin, the Lakers have been promising us wait until the summer of 26, and it's here, and it's like, what do you got to show for it?
All right. Will and Gardena wants to talk Lakers here. Will, what's up?
What up? It's your boy Manuel.
Oh, Manuel. I saw Gardena, and I was like, how?
Manuel, it's been a long time, man. What's going on?
What's cracking? What's up, Adam?
What's up, Manuel? Good to hear from you.
Hey, man. So, look, it's a damn shame, man. It's a big mistake, man. Austin Reeves ain't worth that kind of money, man. And you said a key thing, Kevin Figures. It's the Alex Caruso effect. They messed up not giving Alex the money, and now they're trying to think that Hillbilly Kobe is Alex, man. He ain't. I mean, he's good. He's all right.
He's much better on offense.
That kind of money,
all due respect, man. Well, Austin Reeves is better than Alex Caruso.
Nah, bro. No.
Okay. So you're telling me if we lay out Alex Caruso and Austin Reeves as free agents and anybody can sign them, you got to only pick between these two players.
I'm taking AC every time, bro. Every time. Here's that's who's clutch.
Alex Caruso is clutch.
He stars in his role.
Yeah,
yes.
He's a superstar role player. He can't have a high usage on him. He can't do all the offensive stuff that Austin Reeves does, which is more rare than what Alex Caruso does.
Right.
Hey, in the 82, where does Austin Reeves go in the playoffs? Yeah, that's why I call him Austin Leaves, because he don't show up in the playoffs like Caruso did. Caruso still does that in OKC too. That wasn't just a Laker thing.
Yeah, but Austin Reeves has so much more on his plate than what Alex Caruso is being asked to do, either back when the Lakers or right now with OKC.
Here's where I'll agree with you, Manuel, and we got to run because we're up against the clock. But thank you. Always good to hear from you, brother. Appreciate it. They need to be able to find guys that they can piecemeal together. Austin Reeves was undrafted. Alex Caruso was a second-round pick, or undrafted, actually. They need to be able to fortify their roster with guys like that if you're going to have a top-heavy roster with Luka, Austin, and hopefully Walker Kessler or whoever else. That's how you're going to be able to compete. And that's where the scouting staff comes in.
They missed on Dalton Connect and Hood Schifino.
Yep.
And those were two really bad misses.
Horrible.
And that continues to plague them. Coming up next, well, this story continues to plague us. Brandon Sorsby, rejected from the NFL, can't play this season. No weak-ass substitution draft or whatever it's called. We'll get into it and explain next here on FnA on FSR.
The summer is hot.
It's a party everywhere.
And nothing is hotter than getting your sports and entertainment right here.
Why are you talking basketball?
Getting you through the summer days.
Every week, every day.
It's all right here.
Let's get weird a little bit now.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
I like the morning show.
They're really funny in the morning.
This is the show that has two pros and a cup of Joe.
Who is Joe?
LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox.
Some disappointing news. For one, Caleb Williams. He was trying to attempt to trademark Iceman, and he's been refused, at least temporarily. This from ESPN. It is not, though, due to an application by NBA Hall of Famer George Gervin or a trademark possessed by UFC Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell. Instead, the USPTO saw too much similarity and a likelihood of confusion in a trademark filed in 1988 by Lacrosse Footwear for insulated boots. Lacrosse is an Oregon-based footwear company, shout out Lorena, owns the trademark Iceman for one of its boots and boot liners. So disappointing news for Caleb Williams and a lot of the details there.
Is that what he was trying to?
Yeah, he was trying to trademark Iceman.
Yeah, but when you're trademarking, there's different uses.
Yeah,
usages.
He was trying to do like gym bags and water bottles and whatnot.
Well, so then now that's athletic. That's apparel.
Yeah,
so he was going for an apparel trademark.
Yeah, so they consider that in the same grouping as
right. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
So he's got to go back to the drawing board and figure this out. I would say this: can the Bears have more than one good season before we start going down trademarking Iceman and all the other stuff that comes along with it?
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox, podcast by searching Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mike check. LaMelo Ball's going from Charlotte, and he's going to Minnesota. But what I like about this is you can always tell a well-run organization because you can see the plan. In Minnesota, in the winter of this past year, like November, December, January, figured out Julius Randle's a bit of a ball stopper, and we've got to get a play initiator because Mike Conley, that thing aged out. And Ant's not necessarily a playmaker. He's a finisher, he's a scorer, and he's great. So just look at what they've done. This is called a plan. They've added a hyper-athletic guard who can shoot, and then a catch-and-shoot guy from Duke to go with Ant Edwards. Then they make this move for LaMelo Ball. So they're telling you what they thought about their team in the middle of the season. We want to play faster. They're telling you what they want to become.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
Yeah, baby.
Let's just talk LaMelo Ball pairing up with Anthony Edwards. I have no idea whether or not this is going to work, but they have just jumped to the front of the line at the most exciting team to watch next year.
LaMelo Ball is a fine basketball player. I mean, he is a fine basketball player. And they lose Nas Reed. And I like Nas. I really do.
It's great.
I like LaMelo Ball's game. I felt like they were missing another scorer. Keep in mind that you have Rudy Gobert. And if he can continue to be the defensive guy that he has shown that he is, then now you're talking about a team that has a guy that can guard the rim.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe. Jonas Knox, 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Whoa.
Why, hello there.
You're listening all day. You're listening all night. Now you can watch us on YouTube, That's right. on Instagram and X. Watch us yell.
Do it. I'm wrong. It makes me sick.
Watch us sing.
One shining moment. Somebody. Tacos and teas, Bets and Joe Montana.
Watch us dominate.
I listen to you guys every day.
And that's kind of a big deal.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Good stuff.
And that's it.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Combat sports fans, this January, it's the Bruise Cruise. Party with fighters. Watch a bare-knuckle fighting event live in the Caribbean. Plus DJs, bands, and chaos at sea. Prices increase soon. Hop aboard now. Go to bkfsea.com.
You bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and the you bet against Rocky?
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Speaking of which, for the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune into Fox Sports Radio's Countdown presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific, we will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown presented by BetMGM every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
So the Brandon Sorsby saga continued this week.
Yeah, it might be coming to a screeching halt here.
First, the NFL froze his ass out. They said, no supplemental draft this year.
And I like how, I don't know if you saw like Mike Florio, who does a great job at Pro Football Talk, put on his lawyer hat because he is a lawyer. So like, oh, they can sue the league because of precedent. They allowed Terrell Pryor in, and, they can't just arbitrarily not have a supplemental draft because they say he violates something that not the Players Association. Like, but first of all, he's not a member of the Players Association because he's not in the league yet.
Good point.
And again, I am not a lawyer, but I've watched enough episodes of Law and Order to recognize I know precedent is important.
With SVU too.
Yeah, exactly. But I do know that the NFL is a private enterprise and they have the right to refuse entry to anybody. That includes Brendan Sorsberg.
Shirt.
Yeah.
No jersey.
No NFL contract.
Yeah. Okay.
So just to quash that entire situation, it would not hold up in the court of law because I think the PA would have to sign off on it. And the NFLPA is just as anti-gambling in a certain sense as the NFL is. They don't want to get wrapped up in something like that.
They definitely want the appearance of at least being anti-gambling.
Right.
While they have the Raiders in Las Vegas now and make tons of money off of it. Funnier than the NFL not letting him in, though, the CFL, the Canadian Football
They're not welcome
League.
well, he might be welcome in Canada, but he can't play football in Canada.
You're out.
They're like, doesn't really measure up to our standards, and what we want to represent here in the CFL. So as of now, the CFL nor any of its member clubs are going to be able to be willing to offer him a contract.
Somebody made a joke like they won't even let him play Madden. Like, he can't be associated with any professional league at this point.
I mean, you know what he could probably do? I don't know if it will help. Just do the full-on PR campaign, damage control. Do a bunch of PSAs about gambling and addiction. It destroyed my life, and it threatened to destroy my career. Don't let it happen to you. Just do this for an entire year, and then make yourself eligible for the NFL draft next year, and maybe that goodwill will get you a 7th-round pick or be, taken as an undrafted free agent into a camp or something. That's kind of if he has designs of playing professionally, that's the best thing he can do right now. Get the best PR staff. How can I change my image? That's what he needs to do.
I think he needs an image makeover, yes. I think he just needs more time and less time of us talking about this story. I guess the good news is, Brandon, like we went from this and maybe the B block of an hour to now the C block of an hour.
Got that going for you.
So we only got like 4 or 5 minutes talking about you this time. So it's starting to fizzle out a little bit, which works in your favor.
Yeah, it's going to be less and less relevant. The window for a supplemental draft, which is not going to not going to sue the league at this point in time, it doesn't sound like. So it sounds like he's just going to fade off into the sunset, which, again, I wouldn't do. I will put myself front and center, anti-gambling. I have a problem. I got my problem fixed. Don't fall into the same situation I did. Don't let it ruin your life and your career. I'm going to fight for my life and my career because football is important to me, way more important than gambling, and I'm going to beat this addiction. That's how you win.
I mean, it sounds a little bit like a politician with putting it that way.
Oh,
but
sure.
That stuff does work.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
30.
About it. It's not going to be easy, but I do think eventually he'll be in the league.
It's either that or, like you suggested, he could just join, Barstool or one of these other, networks and be a football analyst for a gambling network.
If he does that, though, he might be cooked. He'll never get his shot. He'll get there eventually, though.
Yeah, that is his career at that point. That's exactly what it would be.
10.
Coming up next, guys who didn't maybe end their career.
5 seconds.
I note here on Fox Sports Radio, it's FnA on FSR.
If you're a fight fan and you haven't seen the BKFC app yet, you're missing the world's most exciting combat sport. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has changed the game. No gloves, no stalling, no boring rolling around on the ground. Just pure violence and pure entertainment. The BKFC app includes live events, past fights, original series, behind-the-scenes access, merch discounts, and more. Only $7.99 a month or $49.99 a year. Get the BKFC app at bkfc.com.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. Game night's fun until someone spends 5 minutes lining up one shot. Chalk, breathe, re-chalk, still aiming. While they figure it out, I fire up Chumba Casino. I can spin anywhere, anytime, and there's always a new social casino game every week. Spins happen way faster than that shot. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
FSY. Live sports and live programming. FSY. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details. There are some shows you don't want to miss.
This is going to be fun.
And there are some shows you can't miss.
Let's not overreact.
This is Covino and Rich.
In all those years of doing this, we didn't talk much WNBA until Caitlin Clark became a thing.
I don't think you talked about it one time.
That's
If anything,
my point. So there's truth. It's not just like a theory. And get this. The WNBA has been around for 30 years now. So it's not like it wasn't in high gear when we were talking sports in 2013. It's been around for 30 years, and they're celebrating its 30-year anniversary. And Caitlin Clark was left off the poster. She's left off the WNBA poster commemorating the 30-year anniversary.
Nothing.
So how can you commemorate, especially like now she's current. So you want, like, you're trying to like make this a cool poster for today. How do you leave her off the poster?
Nothing makes less sense. It would be like doing a montage of wrestling. And remember when Hogan had all his discrepancies about the dumb things he said?
Yeah, but there's a reason. There's a reason that for years the Yankees didn't highlight Roger Clemens.
No, but I'm saying usually when you leave someone off a montage,
right,
it's for good reason. Like, oh wow, they left Hulk Hogan out of the montage. Yeah, you hear what he said about black people? Hey, Roger Clemens took steroids. They left him off the montage.
That's people just hate. That's just straight up hating.
It would be the equivalent of leaving Michael Jordan off an NBA anniversary poster.
Yo, dude, Danny G, when I was on my come up in radio, K-Rock, New York, right?
It'd be like doing a radio legend poster and be like, hey, Howard Stern.
Hey, this is Cheech, and this is Chong, and you're listening to Covino and Rich, so listen up.
To get the rest of what Covino and Rich said, podcast it by searching Covino and Rich. And as always, you can hear Covino and Rich weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Covino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Covino and Rich.
Caitlin Clark. So much, I don't want to say, let's just say trolling, okay? Hate's a strong word.
Yeah.
So much trolling when it comes to Caitlin Clark. There's a big sentiment on social media that as time passes, she's less like Jordan, more like Linsanity. But I still think that it's early on her. I think she gets that reputation because there's high expectations. And, you know, there's a lot of hate because she got embraced very quickly and the world sort of revolved around her in her first season. But injuries would set her back.
Listen, I think injuries set her back. And I don't think anyone ever compared her skill set to the elite. I think we'd all be in denial if anyone were to say that Caitlin Clark didn't take a league that no one cared about and get people interested in the WNBA.
Covino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Why, hello there.
Two pros and a cup of Joe, putting the more in mornings.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Jonas Knox,
How you doing? I'm Jonas from Champion Roofers. I'm here to check out your leak.
Brady Quinn, LeVar Arrington.
Now that's a teammate right there.
Can you think of a better combination?
I can think whatever I want.
That's what I thought. It's two pros and a cup of Joe. Weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app. And here's what you need to know.
Belgium won its group at the World Cup with a 5-0 victory late Friday against New Zealand, which is eliminated. Egypt managed just a 1-1 tie against Iran. Cape Verde advanced with a third straight tie, 0-0 against Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde now the smallest nation ever to advance. Spain won its group 1-0 over Uruguay, which is out. Senegal still alive after a 5-0 win over Iraq. France 3-0 after beating Norway 4-1. The group stage ends on Saturday. Scotty Scheffler shot a second-round 60 and leads in Connecticut by 2 strokes. To baseball, the White Sox were 22-1 winners over Kansas City. Milwaukee won its 5th straight, 6-2 over the Cubs. The win to Jacob Mizorowski, who had a pitch clocked at 105.5 miles an hour. The Twins blew a 7-0 lead, still beat Colorado in 10 innings, 9-8. Padres 7-1 over the Dodgers. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
Final hour of FnA on FSR. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate it. At KFig1's where you can find me on X. Adam is at Follow Adam A on X. We are at FnA Show on X as well as at FnA Show on YouTube.
Chatting with some people in there. Some have the dreaded LDS, LeBron derangement syndrome. Jordan wouldn't have recruited all those guys. Like, yeah, it was a totally different era. This is the player empowerment era. Salary cap was a little bit different back then. Not the same thing. Apples and oranges. And by the way,
the same thing. I feel like Jordan, might have recruited Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest
I tried to
defensive
tell the
players
guy
in the
that
history
he
of
was
the
like,
sport.
no, that's a role player. That's different. LeBron recruited superstars. It's like, well, LeBron was going up against the Boston Celtics, who put together a super team, and then he responded with a super team.
Right.
It's funny how Rob Parker always says, like, live by the super team, die by the super team. When LeBron loses the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, it's like,
Also
well, wait a
super
second.
team. Yeah.
He was reacting initially to the Boston Celtics putting together a super team. Like, can we just be honest about it?
Well, he lost to the Warriors before they even had a super team, before Durant was there. It's he also lost Kyrie Irving in game 1 of the finals.
Didn't have Kevin Love the entire series.
I mean, was Dante Devin? No, who was it? Matthew Dellavedova, excuse me, was like a quote unquote star. That was like his second best player after Kyrie got hurt. I'm trying to beat the Golden State Warriors with Matthew freaking Dellavedova.
And Kyle Korver, who shot 8% in that series from 3.
That didn't help.
Pretty critical one. Far be it for me to defend LeBron, but it's too easy against some of these dumbasses that just omit all the context of what actually went down. There's actually, Jordan tried to get Bird on his team.
Oh, I didn't know this.
It came out recently. It resurfaced, I should say, because we're in the 24/7 news cycle, and you're under much more scrutiny now than you ever were before back in the day.
Well, I also somebody tried to burn all the tapes of like Michael Jordan trying to recruit stars, or he did. Michael Jordan won all of his championships by himself. It was him and the Smurfs.
It's funny.
Like it's everybody else that he beat.
Back when MJ literally went to the statisticians to ask how many rebounds or assists he needed to get a triple-double, and like nobody called it stat padding back then. Like, it's insane the stuff that you could get away with. But nowadays, every low light is shown on X. There's just a magnifying glass on you. And I think it has changed certain guys' careers and how people view them. And I think LeBron James is the biggest example of that. Guy who was playing his high school games on ESPN.
Yeah, that reminds me of something. There was an exchange that Michael Jordan had with the referee. And Mike said, hey, he fouled me. He was like, did he foul you? He said, yeah. So the referee blew the whistle and called a foul on the guy because Michael Jordan told the referee that he fouled him.
Tim Donaghy's on the phone for you.
It was like, seriously?
I believe you, Michael. I remember what you're talking about. That audio's out there.
And that was when Michael Jordan played for the Wizards. Speaking of, so one of the all-time great athletes is coming out of retirement. Serena Williams. Did you know this, Adam? Is going to be performing at Wimbledon.
Singles, right?
Singles and doubles.
Is Venus
she's going to teaming up with Venus. Venus has never retired. Venus has been playing this whole time.
She's just been bad.
Well,
Worse than she was.
She's been a little banged up.
She's older. They're both older.
Venus has been banged up for the last 14 years. Okay.
Well, she had more of like the longer legs, right? She was taller than Serena.
She was, and leaner, and she had a lot of back issues.
A body type you kind of worry. She was the Wemby of the Williams sisters.
You could say that. Yeah, you could definitely say that. But yeah, so she's coming out of retirement, going to compete at Wimbledon in both singles and doubles. Last match was at the U.S. Open a few years ago. She's still at the power, but just did not have the agility at all. Yeah. Now she's lost a crap ton of weight. And isn't she hawking one of these GLP-1s?
Oh yeah,
haven't I seen ads for that?
Hey, fat ass.
Well,
I would not say that.
No,
but she competed in a doubles match in London a couple of weeks ago and looked amazing. She lost a crap ton of weight, got a lot of her agility back, but she's still aging and still dealing with some of the injuries. And I don't.
Is Ozempic a performance enhancer?
Are
we going to have these conversations?
Senses, I guess. I mean, it will make you perform better if you're not slogging out there and moving slowly. So, yes.
But it doesn't necessarily make you any stronger or add to muscle mass. It just
No, it
takes
does not.
away the fat.
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't know if I would consider that in a traditional sense
Fair.
a performance enhancer.
We'll get to that conversation, I'm sure, down the line. It's
So-
still a wild, wild west with this stuff.
It kind of makes you wonder what she's
West.
going to end up looking like. Wednesday, I think, is our first match, as she plays against this like 19-year-old or something. So
Hopefully she doesn't get too skinny on the Ozempic. Because Serena was pretty strong,
well,
and that was
lose
her
all-
advantage.
lose all of her power or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So it got me to thinking, and I hope that Serena does well and makes a deep run. I think it's always great when you see all-time greats, especially who are in the twilight, for lack of a better term, of their careers, come
When you
up
have
and
to
win.
unretire, that's definitely the case.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, Tiger didn't unretire, but to come back from what he came from to win the Masters in 2019, I think it was pretty incredible.
18, 19, yeah.
Something out of like a movie. And then it's been all downhill ever since then.
Yeah.
But it got me to thinking,
now it's
Adam.
now it's a
Well, you know,
crime drama. I don't know. True crime.
about athletes who just hung on for just a little bit too long.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys who, could have hung it up. Great opportunity. End your career, whether it's with one franchise, retire on top, do the Jerome Bettis, do the David Robinson, check out at the right time. And I find more often than not that just doesn't happen.
Are we saying athletes where their legacy was affected, or just it would have been cleaner if they had gotten out a little bit earlier, not embarrassed themselves to this degree?
He's embarrassing.
A little bit of both, actually.
Okay, that's good.
A little bit of both.
877-99 on Fox if you have any of these guys. You know who came to mind right away? Maybe it's timely. Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing went on to play for the Supersonics and then Orlando.
Then Orlando, because he was traded to Seattle, I believe, finished out there, and then signed as a free agent with the Orlando Magic.
My experience with Patrick Ewing, old, decrepit Patrick Ewing, and it was different back then. I mean,
Take it easy, over now. I'm getting old.
well, those guys, I mean, they played so many games a year.
Pretty much
and
every game.
He also got in the 84, 85, somewhere in that range when they used the frozen envelope to get him to New York.
Allegedly.
I'm sorry. He had a lot I think by the early 90s, Patrick Ewing's knees were starting to go a little bit. Like you could tell it wasn't the same because he was a freak coming out of Georgetown.
There was
he could run like a gazelle. He could run like early David Robinson.
Oh, no doubt. There was a stat or like a video that somebody put up on social media earlier this year about the difference of the league back then and now. It was like the last game of the regular season. The Knicks had the best record in the league, and they were playing against Toronto, somebody who was terrible. And the starting lineup was Patrick Ewing, John Stark. It was like literally everybody, and they all played like 36 minutes. You just don't see that today.
No. Patrick Ewing and I just pulled this up, in the year 2000, I'm at a Sacramento Kings game. A preseason game, I think it was, although the date says November 25th. So that's
that wouldn't be the
probably
preseason.
in season.
That's most definitely in season.
But we had some great seats from somebody. And the Sacramento Kings, this is year 2000, my goodness. Pages has 29. Chris Webber has 24 and 14. And they got a 125-101 victory over Patrick Ewing, Gary Payton, Ruben Patterson.
Kobe stopper.
On that Seattle Supersonics team. Patrick Ewing got ejected with 2:46 left in the third quarter, picked up 2 technicals, shouting at a referee. And before he left, I think this is that game, he flipped off the crowd. And he didn't just flip them off the normal way. He didn't give them the bird.
He gave him the double bird.
He gave like the Power Ranger
the
forearm thing where you cross the fists and you cross the hands. And it's like a whole, you're flagging a fighter jet onto the aircraft carrier move. Like it's a whole different motion. That's what I remember from Seattle Supersonics, Patrick Ewing.
Do you feel like he was looking directly at you when he gave the symbol?
It did feel like that at the time, honestly.
We
had good
contact
seats.
with you, I'm sure. Too good of seats. One of the first ones I thought about, believe it or not, was Emmitt Smith. Because a lot of people like to believe that he began and ended his career with the Dallas Cowboys.
Not the case.
Did not. Went to the Arizona Cardinals for 2 seasons. Fell just short of 1,000 yards in year 2, so I'll give him that. His first year with the Cardinals only played a handful of games, got hurt. The Cardinals sucked. He had already broken the all-time rushing record his final year with the Dallas Cowboys, so it's not like he was holding on to break the record.
He didn't get it with the Cardinals?
Yeah, I think he was holding on to actually, to just try to extend it.
Well, there's no excuse for that, S. That's pathetic. Just because he wanted to keep playing, there was nothing else left to play for. He just wanted to extend out the rushing record, maybe?
I believe, especially in that final season.
I do remember him and definitely looking like a shell of his former self. And it was rough to see. Who's the quarterback? Jake Plummer?
It had to have been. That was like 2003, 2004-ish. So I would imagine that was Jake Plummer.
Okay.
Snakes.
Well, yeah, Jake the Snake. It wasn't a good team. They didn't make the playoffs, right?
Nope, never made didn't sniff the postseason. Won 4 games and I think like 5 games the following season. Yeah, he broke the record October 27th, 2002 as a member of the Cowboys. That was his final season in Dallas.
What are you doing, Emmett? Why would you go to Arizona to finish things off? You felt like you had more in the tank. We could see you didn't. Especially since you kind of relied on. I'm not trying to hate.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not
you're
trying
going with
to
the
hate
offensive
here.
line
No,
thing.
come on.
Don't give in to hate.
The Dallas Cowboys are one of the greatest offensive lines ever.
Yeah, couldn't run the ball a lick when Emmitt Smith held out for the first 4 games in '93, though.
That was like one time.
It was 4 games. I'm not saying that the offensive line wasn't dominant, but people who just sit here and just act like Emmitt Smith was some trash running back who just ran through gaping holes.
Not saying
it's a
he's trash.
tired narrative.
I don't think he's trash. There's probably 5 running backs in NFL history I might take over.
I don't disagree with that at all.
That's all I'm saying.
But there are a lot of people who say that he's trash and that he's overrated and all that.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he was a beneficiary of playing behind a great offensive line, but he still had some great runs himself, playing with a separated shoulder. I mean, he could break tackles as a guy as small as he was.
He was good and would have been one of the best runners probably ever, regardless. Would he hold the all-time rushing record if he wasn't with Dallas?
No,
Probably not.
Absolutely
That's
not.
the difference.
Yeah, I can say that. Speaking of which, I'll go to Franco Harris, another one. Did you even know that Franco Harris played for the Seattle Seahawks?
You know what? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, back with AFC Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, it was the AFC Seattle Seahawks. This was 84. He played in 8 games. Looked old and slow.
Ooh.
Had no business playing for Seattle. He got into a contract dispute with the Rooneys, which is why he ended up leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers and tried to play one more year and should have just stayed home. Just stay home. Retire a Steeler. The one franchise you would have played for, multiple Super Bowl rings, one of the all-time greats. I'm not saying it tarnished your legacy, but it's really a bad look to see a picture of Franco Harris in a Seattle Seahawks jersey.
There's another guy that played for Seattle at the end that you just reminded me of. I forgot about this.
Jerry Rice?
He also should have stayed home.
You take your ass home.
Now, the one caveat to Jerry Rice as a member of the Seattle Seahawks is he had one amazing Monday Night Football game where he went for like 120 yards, a touchdown, made a one-handed catch, and everybody got a glimpse of the former great Jerry Rice. And that made up for it a little bit. Didn't he also try out for the Bucs, or was that Tim Brown?
Tim Brown didn't try out. He was with the Buccaneers. Yes, he actually signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, Jerry tried to sign with the Broncos.
Yes, he played in preseason with the Broncos, but I don't think he made it out of camp.
Take your ass home.
You take your ass home.
Dad, do you really want the all-time great, the best receiver of all time, stick him, ate it or not, to peter out and not make the cut in training camp?
No.
This is the all-time. This is the best receiver in the history of the sport, and his career ends.
Some say the best player.
As Neil deGrasse Tyson would say, with a whimper. Nobody wants that for Jerry Rice. That was awful. I actually did forget about that, Adam. Oh, that's terrible.
You brought up Seattle. Old guys playing there. That was one of the first things that came to mind.
Laker fans are not going to want to hear this.
I want to hear it, though.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, no, Kevin.
The Lakers gave him a 2-year, $48 million contract extension after he tore his Achilles. And this was a way, and they gave him the contract they gave him because they thought it was important that he remained the highest paid player in the league at the time. Despite the fact they were in a transition period and had a bunch of young players, weren't making the playoffs. He comes back too early from the Achilles injury and then ends up busting his kneecap, breaks his knee, after playing 6 games, I believe it was, misses the entire season.
Yeah.
That was one of the contracts that set the franchise back for a couple of years. The fact that they were paying Kobe Bryant $27 million, which for back then in the salary cap was the highest salary that anybody had. and it set their franchise back.
We said that day on the FnA podcast that contract would be an albatross around their neck.
They would rue the day they signed Kobe to that extension.
Do you know what he shot field goal percentage wise the last 2 years of his career? This doesn't feel right, but since you brought him up, you started this, Kevin.
Don't act like you weren't going to get to it.
I wasn't going to get to it.
No, you're a liar.
You know what?
You're
I can
liar.
defend Kobe Bryant because he went out with the 60-point game in his final game.
I mean, he shot
and that's what people remember about.
75 field goal attempts, but that's neither here nor there.
And the game winner, and the Jazz had a reason to play. He shot 36% from the field.
I was going to guess 38.
His last year.
Yeah.
66 games, shot 36% from the floor.
Wait, what were the Jazz playing for?
They had a chance to get into the play-in or whatever it was at that time, or the 8th seed. They had something.
They could have been an 8th
for.
seed. I thought they were done for at that point.
No, they had something. They had a reason to play, and they played hard.
Did they?
They did. All right. Gordon Hayward was out there.
I remember that. Have fun being LeBron's little B word. I brought him up earlier in the segment. Michael Jordan. It's not that he wasn't productive with the Wizards. He was very productive, especially for a guy that was 39, 38 years old. The fact that his personal standard was so high, and the fact that you listen to people and they talk about Michael Jordan like he never lost a game in his entire career. The fact that basketball Jesus, Michael Jordan, couldn't carry the Wizards to even a playoff berth in a terrible Eastern Conference. Got to stand for something, right?
Yeah.
Say something.
I actually, before he did his meniscus or whatever, the first year with the Wizards, he was playing some pretty good ball.
Yeah.
And they were, I think, a top 4 seed at that time in the East.
It was there, and they were like inching towards I don't know if it was quite the All-Star break yet.
Their defense was really good. I think he hurt his knee against Sacramento, and then he kept trying to play through it, and then eventually he shut it down, and he definitely looked much worse the year after. But he had a lot of good games early on.
Was still good for his standard. She played, all things considered, even with the injury, played well on an individual basis. But people try to act like he never played for the Washington Wizards. That chapter of his life never happened.
Well, those are the same people that just hate LeBron for whatever reason. They think Jordan had this perfect career, and the shot ended against his career ended against the shot against Byron Russell, which did not happen.
No, it didn't.
This unfortunately happened. In fact, this is used as a meme. When people say,
okay, I know what you're talking about.
Somebody's washed.
There's 2 of them. Yeah, 2 players in this meme, right?
They show a meme of, Orlando Patrick Ewing and Toronto Raptors Hakeem Olajuwon trying to back each other down like 2 unks in the driveway. It's rough. Now, Hakeem, he ended up averaging in 61 games, his final season in Toronto. God, he's not even in America playing his final season. 7 points, 6 boards per game.
That's like Michael Olowokandi status right there.
It is. And the Candyman, there's some Werther's Originals that Hakeem must have had in his pocket out there on the floor at that time because he was 39. Yeah.
He was traded there from Houston, I believe. I don't know if he signed there as a free agent.
They traded him?
But within that, you can also do the Jackie Robinson. One thing that people might not remember or know, the Dodgers traded Jackie Robinson to the Giants, their hated rival Giants. And Jackie was like, I'm not playing for the Giants. I'm just going to go ahead and retire.
You're out.
Hakeem Olajuwon could have been like, hey, I love America. I love the Pacific, Canada, America's hat, some people will call it. I wouldn't say that. I think that's disrespectful. But I was like, I love Canada, but nah, I'm going to go ahead and hang it up. Houston's going to be the one and only franchise I ever played for.
All right, because you brought up Jackie Robinson, it reminded me of somebody else.
Okay.
Do you know where Willie Mays ended his career?
The Mets.
He goes back to New York because he started as a New York Giant. The Giants go to San Francisco. He ends his career with the Mets at 42. He
looked every bit of 42, unfortunately.
Well, forget Mendoza line. What about the Willie Mays line? 211 was his average that final season. He did have 6 bombs in 66 games.
Now, granted, who plays Major League Baseball at 42 years old? That's not a pitcher, you know? Yeah. You don't get position players doing that. How old was Ricky Henderson when he hung it up?
Ooh.
Ricky might have been in his 40s.
The thing about Ricky is, like, people relate him to the A's, of course, but he played for so many teams.
Ricky Henderson played for everybody.
Yeah. And the Dodgers were his final team. Kevin, you want to guess his age?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
39.
Kevin. That maybe in Royd's years, because he was
I see it now.
44. 44, Ricky Henderson hitting 208 his final year as a member of the Dodgers.
That is insane.
He just loved ball so much. He just kept jumping around at the end. Seattle, San Diego, Boston, the Dodgers. Mets before that, back to Oakland for a season. Anaheim, you guys had him.
No. He stole only 3 bases in his final season as a 44-year-old.
That was probably the more appropriate number to look at for Ricky Henderson than batting average.
But at 42 years old with the Padres, he stole 25 bases. That's pretty damn good.
All right. He still had the Jets?
Yeah. Now, you could probably say this for a lot of guys in this particular sport, but one that stands out to me is Roy Jones Jr., one of the more entertaining boxers to watch, one of the most dominant boxers of his generation. And then that fight against Antonio Tarver happened in 2004. Damn! And I remember I was at my cousin's house and we had a double TV thing going because we were watching the Miami Heat play the Charlotte Hornets on TNT. And if you remember, that was Dwayne Wade's rookie year, and he hit a game-winning shot against the Hornets for the Heat.
In the playoffs.
In the postseason.
Yeah, he backed down Baron Davis.
Right. So they go to the TNT studio, and Ernie and Kenny are talking or whatever, and they go to Charles, and Charles is like, all right, listening to y'all fools, Roy Jones just got knocked out. Like, Charles Barkley was sitting on set at TNT during a playoff game and wasn't watching the playoff game, which is not a shocker. He was watching the boxing match instead. I'll never forget that.
That's actually hilarious. I'll give him that one.
I don't care what y'all.
My ass goes down.
I don't care what y'all fools were saying. Roy Jones just got knocked out, and Roy Jones was never the same. He fought Tarver again about a year or so later and lost. And
Didn't
then
he have a
fought
knockout
Bernard.
where he fell over the ropes?
Yes.
Was that against Bernard?
I don't know if that was the B-Hop fight or not.
The
but
second one?
Let's break.
Prime.
They did.
Against each other.
Yeah, and then they
and
fought
Roy won on it wasn't a knockout.
No,
he won on the card.
Yeah, it was scorecards. Yeah.
It was a decision.
Yeah, and then the last one, they were both old and washed up. And then, of course, around COVID, he had the exhibition against Tyson, and that's what it turned into. And he still fights. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he should have just stuck with basketball maybe at the end. He had a pretty good shot
He
to
did.
him. 877-99 on Fox. If you want to weigh in, we got some phone calls here. They're coming in. Here they come, Mike. We'll get to you guys next. I'm Adam Mosley. He's Kevin Figures. We're talking washed athletes at the end of their career on FNA on FSR.
NBA front offices are wheeling and dealing.
The Milwaukee Bucks are trading Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat.
Wow. Insiders are dropping bombs, and your team is getting better.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or maybe worse. We've got it all on Fox Sports Radio.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company, Live, Cavino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon, and The Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Big testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch FnA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
If you're a fight fan and you haven't seen the BKFC app yet, you're missing the world's most exciting combat sport. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has changed the game. No gloves, no stalling, no boring rolling around on the ground. Just pure violence and pure entertainment. The BKFC app includes live events, past fights, original series, behind-the-scenes access, merch discounts, and more. Only $7.99 a month or $49.99 a year. Get the BKFC app at bkfc.com.
What's up, fools? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
He's Steve Cavino.
Kick it.
He's Rich Davis.
I thought of like the worst idea possible.
It's Cavino and Rich.
We are in a serious situation here.
They're dropping knowledge.
Everything about it is stupid.
And names.
We did an interview with Jay-Z and Cavino's like, yo, quick pick. And Jay's like, no. He's like, no.
What up, Cavino and Rich?
It's Cavino and Rich.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Let's begin.
Sometimes we like company. Other times, what? Company is downright annoying. Let's listen to Stu Gatz and Company live. And you tell us where this show lies.
So this is the 10th player right now, currently in the NBA, that Colin Cowherd would want to build his NBA team around.
Actually, I think it's more suspenseful if we start from one.
Oh, really? Wow.
So we'll start at the top. The first player, most obvious player in the league that you would want to build.
I love a good twist. Go ahead. Who's number one?
It's Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
And you're mad at that because it's so obvious, right?
I'm not mad at that part.
I am.
You'll start to see where my anger comes in.
No, but I would say that's the obvious number one. And if you're putting together a list and you're a cagey vet and a Hall of Famer like Colin Cowherd, you need to do better than Victor Wembanyama. How about that?
I might have accidentally looked ahead. I think I know where he
always do this.
It was an accident. I just said it was an accident.
Mikey, I mean,
don't even have it up.
The good news is I've only seen the top six, so it's not that bad.
All right, number two, go ahead. Who's the second player in the NBA that Colin would most want to build his team around?
Nikola Jokic.
What?
Jesus. I mean, Captain Obvious. The C in Colin stands for Captain Obvious. How about that?
If you think that's Captain Obvious, Stu,
yeah,
number 3 on this list. Cooper Flagg.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Cooper Flagg didn't win anything of significance in his rookie year.
I mean, outside of Rookie of the Year, but no, in terms of on the court, he won nothing.
He said significance. I mean,
that is a wild. If you just presented somebody right now, 3 names: Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, and Cooper Flagg. Tell me what list is this? These are the top 3 players. Maybe.
To hear more from Stu Gatz and Company live, just podcast it by searching Stu Gatz and Company. And as always, you can listen live weekdays 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gatz.
Yes.
And he Gatz Company.
I love that.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes the lights off.
It's Stu Gatz and Company live. Listen
So-
weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports.
So yeah, we got Chance from Alabama who wants to talk about Aaron Rodgers for old athletes, and then we got Quinn Sale from Oakland who wants to talk Randy Moss.
Be honest about it.
How about some more
Quinn Sale, yeah.
Fox Sports Radio Nation, your thoughts?
The most inclusive show on Fox Sports Radio.
More Fox Sports Radio.
Any way you want this, I can make it happen.
Joe from Seattle wanted to talk the World Cup.
Download the iHeartRadio app and indulge while you do things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
This is Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken. Wow. You can see him on the Herd. Weekdays at
Yeah, I'll text it to you guys.
FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
Combat sports fans, this January, it's the Bruise Cruise. Party with fighters. Watch a bare-knuckle fighting event live in the Caribbean. Plus DJs, bands, and chaos at sea. Prices increase soon. Hop aboard now. Go to bkfsea.com.
Oh, you want something to man?
FnA, Cotton, FnA. Welcome back in, FnA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Oslin, he's Kevin Figures. And if you missed any of today's show, you'll want to catch the podcast. Just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you happen to podcast. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted by Mike. Be sure to follow the podcast, rate it 5 stars, and you can even provide a review. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get that podcast. Follow the feed, and you'll find today's show fully posted right after we get off the air.
Talking about washed up athletes. Now, I'm not by any means calling Serena Williams washed up, but she retired a couple of years ago, decided that she wanted to come on back. So she's going to compete in Wimbledon coming up this week in singles and doubles, along with her sister Venus, who never stopped playing. She just has been a shell of herself, unfortunately, due to injuries. So it got us to thinking about, athletes who maybe hung on a little bit too long. Should have hung it up a year or two earlier than they actually did, and might have ended up tarnishing their legacies a little bit. Checking in on Twitter is our guy Eloy from Compton. He says, here's a current one that I can't stand. Cheating ass Justin Verlander. Dude, just go away.
What did he do to cheat, though? He was a pitcher for that Astros team.
He was.
It wasn't a hitter.
I guess guilt by association, probably.
He didn't have the buzzer underneath his jersey or anything like that.
As far as we know. I don't know.
I don't know. Could they have done something for the pitchers?
I wouldn't think so. But like I said, it's probably guilt by association when it comes to that.
Okay. 877-99 on Fox is the phone number. Let's go to Chance calling in from Alabama. He's a big caller here on FnA. We've gotten Chance before. Chance, the caller. What's up?
When you have been as great as Rodgers has, maybe the greatest thrower of the football I've ever seen, not saying he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen, but just watching him throw that ball, spin it, it's a thing of beauty when he was good, right? When he was Rodgers in Green Bay. But since he's been with the Pittsburgh and Green Bay, he's going into year 3 after Green Bay, I believe.
Yeah, anyway, the Jets and then Pittsburgh, yes.
Point being, when you're that great, washed up, maybe, I'm going to go with it. He's washed up because when you are on top of that mountain and you are that high, and when you just go down to mediocre at best, and I mean at best, he is mediocre, and he has gotten more grumpy, more just blaming everyone else around him. It drives me nuts. He is, you can't go from top of the hill to, I don't know, C minus, A plus to C minus. It's terrible to watch. I hate it for him. But hey, actually I don't hate it for him because the guy's a jerk. And one more I got is Shaq, man. His last few years were terrible. I don't have the stats on me, but God, his last couple of years sucked.
The Big Shamrock?
He ended his career with the Boston Celtics, played for the Cleveland Cavaliers for a year, made an all-star team as the Big Shaqtus with the Phoenix Suns, if you remember, dancing with the Jabberwockies.
He was the trade with Sean Marion going to Miami.
Right.
Steve Kerr was the GM.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting.
So good call there, Chance. Yeah, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, obviously, and the injury that he suffered literally the day that he walked out of the door with the Green Bay Packers opening night for the Jets certainly didn't help his cause.
As soon as he picked up that American flag, it was downhill from there.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, I think he's a perfect example as someone who is now, granted, you get older as a quarterback, you need a little bit more help. Because, I mean, I could put Peyton Manning in that same boat. If Peyton Manning, with his noodle arm, doesn't win a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos, we're probably putting him on this list. But because he actually went out on top, really through no, credit to his own, it was pretty much all that defense. He did pretty much next to nothing in that Super Bowl against Adams' Carolina Panthers.
You're not wrong.
We're talking about him in that light.
Yeah, I'm still disgusted over that. We lost to a washed Peyton Manning team. We couldn't score. How many points did the Panthers even get a touchdown in that game? My God.
I don't believe they did, actually.
Yeah, they gave up a few.
Yes, they did.
Defensive touchdowns to the Broncos.
Quinn Sale in Oakland. Let's go to Oaktown. Quinn Sale, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? I love y'all so on the weekends, for real, though.
Appreciate it.
Hey, but, I got 4 things. Just let me get them all off. Being from the Bay, y'all woke my game up when y'all brought up Ricky Henderson and Jerry Rice or something. But let me bring this up to you first, though. All right, what about one athlete they didn't even let you get to see washed up? You're talking about who plays at 42. Barry Bonds because he was still balling in his last season.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the league had like blackballed him. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
And then another one I got, and then that Tim Brown, he caught his 100th touchdown at the Coliseum as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was crazy.
Who threw him the
I remember
pass?
that
You know what I
vividly.
mean? And then
Brad
I want to
Johnson.
bring up Randy Moss because now they say every time Randy Moss put his hand up, it's all gravy. And then Kaepernick was so used to throwing the ball to Crabtree in that Super Bowl. You feel me? That could have been a touchdown to win the game. So that's about all I gotta say, man. But Ricky's still my all-time favorite ball player, though, man. Rest in peace, man.
That's right.
Y'all have a
Ricky's
good one, though.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Q. Thanks for listening, man. Thanks for the support. Ricky Henderson is also Ricky Henderson's favorite baseball player of all time. But yeah, people forget that Randy Moss was on that San Francisco 49er team.
Oh no.
That lost the Super Bowl. If you want to say in controversial fashion, when they shut the lights out for like 45 minutes or whatever, and the Baltimore Ravens came back and won that game.
I mean, how did that help either team or hurt either team?
It's just
they
people,
both dealt with it.
People use excuses for everything, Adam.
Like Beyonce shut that place down. All right.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the first time.
I just got reminded of somebody else who ended their career in San Francisco and was definitely washed at this point. Want to go back home to San Francisco. OJ. What? He was a football player once before that other stuff.
Before what? Doing a hate Twitter world, giving his opinions on X.
That was lesser of an offense than
No. What else did he do?
Double murder, homicide. Yeah. At least he's no longer with us.
Keith in H-Town. Houston, what's going on, brother?
What's up, fellas? Hey, man, y'all were talking about Elijah Warren's decline. I'm here in Houston, and he's probably my favorite player of all time. And to watch his decline happen almost overnight was amazing. Because if you remember, in the 96-97 season, he was still playing at a high level, averaging around 23 points a game, just under 10 rebounds a game. And then what happened? He got married in August of 96. He was 33 years old. He was 18 years old. He got him some of that 18-year-old good.
All right.
And lost all his strength in his legs. And the next season, the very next season, his average dropped down to 16 points a game. So is that a coincidence? I don't know. That's all I got.
So they said the women weakened knees. Is that what happened? That's why he started wearing the double knee brace after he got married. Is that what it was?
That was not the dream. That was no longer the dream.
No.
His dream was no longer to win in basketball.
No, it
His dream
wasn't.
was to get married.
Exactly.
And get some of that 18. Okay, that was.
Taking a
It's
little
a
bit
late
of a turn.
night show.
Taking a
All
little
right?
bit of a turn. Yeah.
Do we have one more call here? Or is this guy because the last caller was so clean and sober.
Yeah, let's take him, Mike. Who do we have, Mike?
Oh no.
Yeah, we got Joe from Seattle.
Joe, do you got a washed athlete that you remember that played 1 or 2 years too long?
I idolized Willie Mays my whole life, and he went to New York, and my brother pitched against him. My brother was on the Expos, and I loved Willie Mays, and he just he went too long.
Yeah, hitting 200 his last couple of years. Still, I think Willie Mays is probably the greatest baseball player outside of Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. So anyway, what do you think of
Yeah, he wanted to talk World
the
Cup.
Seahawks not even being they're not
A
even
subject
the favorite-
tonight? Outside of no, we did talk Seahawks. We talked Jerry Rice being
Jerry Rice
washed.
with Seattle. We talked about Franco Harris with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
We've got some Seahawks talk in tonight.
I mean, Sean Alexander got pretty washed pretty quick, but he had a bad injury.
Yeah. And Cam Chancellor.
Oh, I love Cam Chancellor. That was my
Cam
favorite
laid the
safety.
hammer.
Yeah.
And Earl Watson hit Gronk so hard, I think it ruined his
Earl
career.
Thomas, you mean? Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas,
Not little
yeah.
Earl Watson.
Not-
Yeah.
Monday night-
Earl Watson will knock the crap out of you, too. I don't want to mess with Earl.
Yeah.
On or off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate the phone call.
I will say, yeah, some people are sleeping on the Seahawks. The Rams are getting all the pub nowadays. It's like, I don't know how you can sleep on the defending champions, but, that's where it is. Use it to your advantage.
That'll keep the fuel going for them.
100%.
Everybody disrespected us. That's what happened with the Golden State Warriors after winning in 2015. Everybody pointed out every team you played along the way, they had a significant injury.
Which was true, by the way.
Which motivated them to win 73 games and then blow a 3-1 lead the next year.
Yeah. I was say, which motivated them to go out and sign Kevin Durant. And,
the rest is really disgusting super team history. All right. We'll take a quick timeout. We're coming back. Mike is leading us. Mike on the mic. Mike on Mike is next. This is FnA, and you're listening to Fox Sports Radio.
We talk, and you love to listen.
Awesome. Love hearing you guys. Full laughs, man. Love it.
Now you can look. Look at that. Look at him.
Yo, what's up? I'm Kelvin.
Look at them.
Tom Brady is the man.
Don't turn away.
Take a closer look.
Fox Sports Radio. YouTube. Look.
This January, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship takes over the ocean. The inaugural Bruise Cruise sails from Miami to the Bahamas aboard the Norwegian Jewel. 3 straight days with pool deck bare knuckle fights in the Caribbean, massive parties, beach events, DJs, cigars, tequila tastings, and non-stop action. The lineup reveals coming soon. Cabins are disappearing fast, and the prices won't stay this low. Reserve your spot with just $200 down at BKFSEA.com.
Drew McIntyre here from WWE. Wielding the Claymore can be a life of chaos. When I'm not dominating in the ring, Chumba Casino is how this warrior takes a wee break. With hundreds of online social games and new weekly releases, there's always something fresh to try. And those daily boosts, next level. Even my free time feels like Valhalla. So when life feels like a battle, kick up your feet, have some fun, and let's chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
Think of it like instant mashed potatoes. Just add some water. We got trade action in the NBA. A little pro bouncy ball for you. Yeah, yesterday's rumor, today's reality. The mantra we had in the newsroom at the website I worked at back in the day. So we learned that the only professional sports team named after a flying insect, the team called the Charlotte Hornets, have decommissioned LaMelo Ball. They've said bye-bye to LaMelo Ball. They also traded someone named Josh Green to the Timberwolves for Naz Reid and a duffel bag of picks. Charlotte gets not 1, not 2, but 3 first-round pick swaps. The swap. They get 1 unprotected first-round pick, like many years from now, and a gaggle of second-round selections, all of those going to North Carolina. That is a good jumping-off point. Let us discuss. We have a trade. What do we do? That's right. The question. Let's go to the judges' scorecards. How do you grade the Wolves acquiring LaMelo Ball from the Hornets? We scored this Timberwolves trade for LaMelo Ball 10-7 in favor of Minnesota. Now on an iPad, they're the clear winner and overwhelming dominance in the trade. It's a no-brainer. They got the better player. Now Minnesota traded
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
It was a pretty, I would say, boring NBA draft. Didn't have a whole lot of action to it. But there was one thing that just got me heated because it ruined a player's, I would say, NBA draft night, right? Nate Amon, the Tennessee forward who got drafted by Milwaukee with the 13th. If you say so. It was technically Miami's pick, right?
We got one.
One of the picks that was
yeah.
trade. And yet, Nate Amon had to go.
I didn't ask. Ricky found out that I'm leading the last segment. He's like, dude, I'm going to make you an opener. I was like, oh, awesome. Thank you.
Chance that something falls through in this trade. Why not go ahead and let him wear the right hat? and make his draft night something that he remembers for the rest of his life, instead of being, yeah, I had to wear the stupid hat because of NBA rules. Draft night meant nothing to me.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
We begin with
The Ben Maller Show.
Handle with care. To La La Land we go, where the once proud Laker franchise haven't won anything since Kobe. We have now been told the Lakers have no intention of keeping DeAndre Ayton on the roster past this summer. That is if he opts in to his $8.1 million player option for next season. It was only 1 year. What went wrong? So this was a lap dance at the Deja Vu Lounge is what this was. The same thing that went sour in Phoenix and started rotting in Portland happened here. The Suns questioned the motivation, the motor of DeAndre Ayton. The Blazers also questioned that part of his game. And the Lakers are like, hey, this guy's on island time.
Ben Maller, weeknights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. You listen at all hours of the day.
We're live and local in your eardrum.
Yeah. You even have your favorites.
I'm always listening to the show.
Some of you even like to express your love through a tweet
from Drew
or a call.
I think you guys do an incredible job. It's a great thing. You guys do a good job. Y'all are killing it on Fox Sports Radio.
There are so many reasons why you listen to us. And for that, we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the love you continue to show us. This is Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken. Wow. You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
Combat sports fans, this January, it's the Bruise Cruise. Party with fighters. Watch a bare-knuckle fighting event live in the Caribbean. Plus DJs, bands, and chaos at sea. Prices increase soon. Hop aboard now. Go to bkfsea.com.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on FSR, and for the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. We will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
Mark, before we get out of here, let's do it.
Hey, is this on? Quiet, please. Shut up. It's Mike on Mike.
Yes.
All right.
I like it.
Producer Mike with the takeover. You got imaging for it. Bob Schmidt had to cut that and everything, unless you just used AI. I don't know how these things work.
Yeah, no AI. But all right, fellas. So, unfortunately for the 2027 MLB season, a lockout is looming.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now a lot
or
of reports,
fortunately, if you're a Mets fan, right?
Right.
That's good for them.
Yeah, that means you can't lose.
Oh, no, the Mets.
So the MLB and the MLB Players Association are now starting to have their negotiations. And as of the most recent report that has come out, the MLB proposed something for this CBA. And it is a salary cap and a salary floor. That's one of the many things.
Yeah.
So the salary cap being a hard cap of $245 million, with the floor being $171 million. For context, teams that would be over that salary cap, the 245, 9 teams would be over that as of right now today.
And the Mets are like top 2, right?
Yes, the Mets would be number 2 on that list. For more context, 12 teams would be under the $171 million hard salary cap. So just a little context there. But this is really frustrating. But the biggest thing for me is the latest proposal, which is 5 years max contracts for players that are becoming free agents. 6 years if they are your own free agents. I think this is a horrible direction for the MLB to be headed in, especially with the game growing so much as of late. I think the rules that they've implemented in the game have really had a positive impact, but I think they're headed in a step in the wrong direction.
Now hold on.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with you wearing an LA Dodgers hat?
No, not at all.
I'm sure.
Very
I will
impartial.
Say, I am not fully opposed to having term limits when it comes to free agency. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of a cap. So what would end up happening, I guess, from a system, if you wanted to kind of meld the two together, you'd probably just have 5-year deals, but an extremely high average annual value. So instead of signing a 14-year deal for $400 million, and you're making 40 a year, you might sign, a 5-year deal for $300 million, but you're probably bringing in 80 a year. Now, I don't know if teams will sign off for that either, but signing these guys to 10, 12, 13, 14-year contracts, it's just debilitating on the back end. The only person who wins on the back end is the player who's washed up at that point in time, and you're committing a bunch of money to a guy who's no longer being productive, and it hampers your ability to win.
Would have made our list.
Yeah,
Washed
exactly.
up players making way too much money.
100%.
Bryce Harper, did he get like the 13-year deal
I think
in
he signed
Philadelphia?
13, yes.
I mean, he's been good so far, but what's he going to be at the end of it? What's he going to look like then? I do think they're taking something out of the book of the NBA, where if you have your own guy, you said you could sign him to 6 years.
Correct.
But if you're bringing in an outside free agent, it's only 5. Well, Austin Reeves could have gotten 5 years with the Lakers, only ended up getting 4, but everybody else could only give him 4 years. So they're looking around Major League Baseball and seeing what works and what doesn't. But the salary cap, salary floor, fine. The salary cap is going to be a non-starter. That's I don't believe it's going to happen.
I think
the players won't let it.
They will be willing to sacrifice an entire season if they have to. They are not giving up a salary cap. Yeah. And if I were in their position, neither would I.
They will dig their feet in. This will be 1994 all over again. And by the way, why has there not been a 30 for 30 definitive documentary on the 1994 strike? We had a guy going for the Triple Crown. We had a guy going for the home run record. Tony Gwynn was hitting 394, 396. There was a beer named after it.
394, yes.
394 in San Diego.
Yeah.
Wish I could try it. But the year was
go to the right craft beer store in LA, you can find it.
More importantly than all those historic events that were happening at once, I had front row tickets to a Giants Marlins game on the first base side, and I never got to go to that game because of the strikeout, and I'm still bitter.
I'm so sorry for you, Adam.
Do you remember the Married with Children episodes where like Mike Piazza was in it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, I got to find work right now. I think he did like an episode of Baywatch later on as Dodger.
That checks out.
Or maybe a Met.
No,
I don't know.
Probably a Met.
Emily Anderson was there too. So as a Dodger fan, Mike, you're like, hey, I don't need this salary cap. We're running things right now. Things are going just fine for me.
I mean, that's who it's directed at, right? Obviously, it's the Dodgers.
Why do you think?
But why isn't it directed at the 12 other teams that would be under the floor?
What about taking away the deferred money stuff that the Dodgers do?
That's something they proposed as well as part of the most recent proposal by Major League Baseball. They will take away deferrals, which I wouldn't necessarily be
reasonable.
I would not be opposed to that, to be honest with you.
Hey, what's everybody's favorite day of the year? The Bobby Bonilla Day, where he gets $1 million from the Mets.
To a degree, yes.
That's one person's favorite day of the year, and his name is Bobby Bonilla.
Teams with Scrooge McDuck-like pockets like the Dodgers have can very easily say, yeah, Ohtani, take $2 because we can give you $500 gazillion 15 years from now. Most franchises just can't do that.
So when you say, well, they're not that different in team salary versus the minute, it's like, well, that doesn't count the deferred money. That's not on the cap. I think that's a little bit
because I believe even
far.
Juan Soto specifically signed with the Mets because they didn't defer any of his money. And I think the Yankees were going to. And so a lot of these guys want their money up front. Now, I'm not saying the Mets don't defer money, and other teams certainly do. That's why the Diamondbacks got themselves in so much trouble. That World Series roster, they deferred a crap ton of money that they ended up not being able to pay up on.
2001?
Yeah, that 2001 team. A lot of money, Schilling and a bunch of those guys had deferred money.
30.
It's an escrow account that they didn't have the money to be able to cover those contracts. So that's why they had to change the rules a little bit.
You better get Luis Gonzalez his money at least.
Pay that man his money.
Oh, Gonzo got his.
Game-winning hit, Mariano Rivera, series-winning hit, one of the most famous, 2001, with those purple and teal uniforms.
Yeah, the future is bleak for Major League Baseball.
10.
You better enjoy it now because it's going to be pretty dark going into next year.
5 seconds.
Sign off on. Thank you guys for listening. Project NIL is next on Fox Sports Radio.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch FnA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill